We'll make it do the do. We'll make it do the do. All right.
All
Peace
right.
and love, peace and love, peace and love. Greetings to all. This is Chief Kalinago with another video. You know what I'm saying? Tonight, we are having an original Indigenous American roundtable. And first, you know how I always begin the live. You know what I'm saying? Always like to give thanks to the Great Spirit, Mother God, for a different day, a great continuation of life, giving thanks to our ancestors. And for those of you who may want to be part of the build, please let me know. Put your email in the chat, and we could definitely get you on the bill. But for now, we got our sister Onyx, you know, Summer Rising, and we got our brother Abu Isa. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna give them a chance to.
What's the Halito, Chief?
Halito, brother, Halito. All right, so I'm gonna give
Sister Onyx Storm.
Thank you, Abu Isa.
All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna give you know, Sister Onyx an opportunity to tell you a little bit about herself, you know, what territory she is in, and go ahead, sis, introduce yourself.
I am Onyx Summer Rising. I live in the Belleville, Illinois area. It's like 20 minutes away from St. Louis, Missouri.
Okay.
And what else you want to know about me?
I mean, that's about it right now. I mean, you know, you're Indigenous, you're an American Aboriginal, so that's what this is all about. Okay. So, brother Abu, go ahead, brother, introduce yourself, and then let the family.
Yeah.
You know,
Yo, my mother named me Christopher Michael Poston, but you know that's a real funny. Everybody think I'm white when I say that. So, but but my name is actually an Arabic name. It means the father of Isa. So you know, when people give me that nickname, so I just use the nickname mostly. But I grew up in Philly, North Philly. I went to Egypt for about a decade, learned some things, came back. And moved to Atlanta, Georgia. So I move around the country a lot, doing different jobs and stuff like that, putting up, you know, the wires and things like that. So, but I started learning about being Indigenous about less than 2 years ago, actually. I've never even heard it before that, to be honest with you. My whole life, I just thought we came on slave ship for the most part. Until one day, you know, I looked in the mirror and I was like, well, you know what? I don't look like an African. And, you know, I seen my afro, I had cornrows, you know, back in the day. I'm like, well, wait a minute, man. Why we look like this? You know, why is my skin, you know, a red brick color like this? And why is it that, you know, I can grow an afro? Because I spent time in Africa and I just didn't see anybody that looked like me there. So the light switch came on, you know?
Yeah.
So I started asking my elders and my relatives, and they told us we were, they said Cherokee, but obviously Ananoian, but they, you know, they only know that word Cherokee. So I started researching, man. I got back to I'm to about 1858 now, and it's amazing that I found my grandparents were all full-blooded so-called American Indians, man. It amazed me because it's like, well, wait a minute, how did I get black? You know? So that's where my story is now, and I met Chief, and I've been watching Chief for a while, and you know, Chief make a lot of enemies, man. You know, you know, Chief make a lot of enemies, man. But you know, you're doing the right thing, man. We got to tell the people the truth, you know.
Yeah, no doubt.
You know what I'm saying?
That's what's up. I appreciate that. Yeah. But
you know what I'm saying?
Anybody else that's actually on what you call it? Anybody else right now that's actually on the do me a favor, lower your volume just a little bit because I'm getting a feedback.
You talking about me?
Either or. So this is what I'm gonna do. It's cool. I got it. What I'll do is I'll just kind of mute the mic for a second, and then when I'm ready to talk to you guys, I'll just unmute because I'm getting the feedback, and it's kind of like a little distorted. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So it's cool. All right. So for any one of our brothers and sisters that's actually on the chat right now, okay, and you would like to be a part of the build, just let me know. Put your email in the link, and I could send you the link. You feel what I'm saying, brother Chris Coleman? If you would like to get on, you know, I know you have a platform as well, and you're one of the brothers that's putting in that work as well. So if you would like to be a part of the build, let me know. And I could definitely, or send me an inbox on Facebook, and I could get you that information. You feel me? Because today what we want to talk about is we want to talk about this roundtable is about what's going on amongst our people. All right, because reason being, it seems like we have had so much division, and here we are as a people. We have finally come into the understanding of who we truly are in terms of nationality, ethnicity, all right, and who we are as a people, but yet still within the paradigm of us changing the status of coming from Black and African American to who we truly are. There's still a lot of infighting. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's fighting. Oh, hold on. I think we just lost our brother right here. Let me just get him back on. All right, I got you back in. So we're gonna talk about. All right. Okay, I hear somebody talking in the background. Is somebody having a conversation in the background? Okay, so Sister Onyx, I mean, go ahead and tell me. You're one of the people that kind of like, see different videos and pretty much know what's happening, on the internet. Why do you think, instead of the majority of our people coming together as indigenous Americans, why do you think there's still such a huge disparity in terms of separation and division amongst those of us who call ourselves American Indians or American Aboriginals?
Yeah. So did you talk to the principal?
Can you guys hear me?
I turned my volume down, but I'm going to turn it up. You still hear the feedback?
Yeah, turn it back up. Did you hear what I asked?
You said, why is there so much distinction between?
No, what I'm asking is, we have been so divided as a people, right? And here we are. We are coming to the understanding as to who we truly are, as we are the original people of this land, right? But it seems that like there is still a lot of fighting amongst the so-called American Aboriginal community. I don't want to call it a community because this is part of my life. This is who I am. You feel me? But that's what they call it. Why do you think there's so much infighting amongst the people, all right, who's supposed to be conscious, supposed to be on this different frequency and looking down on people who call themselves Black and African American, but yet still they don't seem to know how to get it together? Why do you think that is?
You're asking me, Chief?
Yes.
Well, I feel that it's deliberate, but that's my opinion. I feel like it's being deliberately done and to cause a lot of confusion.
But so, okay, I respect your opinion, of course. So, and I'm not gonna disagree or agree. So I'm gonna ask, when you say it's deliberate, like what do you mean? I mean, I know what deliberate means, but who do you think is putting them up to that? You know what I mean? If it's deliberate, then they have to be doing it for whatever reason, or who do you think is influencing them to do that kind of stuff?
I think it's probably some kind of agency, a government agency that hires people to bring about disturbances between this group of people who are trying to reunite or unite. And in order to prevent that from happening, then, they have to find somebody who looks like us to cause these disturbances. That's what I feel.
Okay. And that point is well taken. Brother Abu, like, in your opinion, I'm asking the same question. Why do you think that there is so much separation still amongst the Aboriginals and so much infighting? Why do you think that is?
I'm gonna say one word, man. A lot. It's also what our sister Onyx has said, but it's also some of these guys got an ego, man. So I mean, if it's about the people, if it's about educating our people, and why make it personal?
Hold on for a second, brother. Hold on for a second. There's somebody talking in the back. I'm not sure if it's Sister Onyx or you, but somebody's talking about I'm gonna call you back, and they're talking loud. It's really distracting.
No, I don't. No, not me. Nobody here with me.
I don't know.
Is that a television?
I can hear it though. I was hearing something in the background though. I was hearing it though.
I do hear a noise though.
Yeah. Oh, okay. All right. Hold on for a second. I think I know what it is. Give me a second, guys.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So, oh man, they about to shut us down already.
No. I think I may know what it is. Hold on for a second. I think it's something that's in the background, and let me just see if I could deal with that. Give me a second. Okay, what's going on here? Give me a second, guys. I know exactly what it is. I'm just trying to figure this out.
Yeah. All right. Well, you better get with that.
Sounds like a movie or something like that.
Yeah. I know. I think I know exactly what it is. Give me a second.
Read it.
All right.
Click those links. Get all the information you need. You can start on it.
Okay. So here we are. Okay, I think we good. Here we go. All right. All right. Are you guys there?
Yes.
Okay, good. So go ahead, Brother Abu. Yeah, it looked like he's frozen. Yeah, can you hear me, brother? Yeah, we lost him again.
Okay.
But if anyone on the chat, you know what I'm saying, would like, to get on, you know what I'm saying, on the build, by all means, let me know. And so that I could, send you guys the link so we could get on. Because once again, I'm doing this because I realize, and for me, I don't really, get into all, into who's beefing with who. So honestly, I don't know, but I'm hearing a lot about it. You know what I'm saying? So, and for some reason, we have to find out why all this is going on. You feel me? Why is there so much infighting? You know what I'm saying? But yet still, we supposed to be the ones that have the knowledge. We are supposed to be the ones vibrating on a different frequency, but you have those people still acting like they're from the hood. You know what I'm saying? With that hood mentality. You know what I'm saying? That ghetto mentality. And I'm like, hold up, what's going on? So go ahead, brother Issa. You were giving your opinion on
that. She said that some of these guys may be agents.
Yeah, you're breaking up, brother. You're breaking up. You're breaking up.
But, you hear me?
You're breaking up.
Can you hear me?
Now you kind of going in and out.
What about now? Good place in here, man.
Yeah, that's a little better. Go ahead, brother.
Like I was saying, I was agreeing with the sister, man. I mean, some of this stuff, obviously, this has to be agencies because we're the biggest threat to them because if we wake up, I mean, money changes hands, land changes hands, titles change. I mean, we're probably the best kept secret on the planet. So if we snap out of it, I mean, the same way they got rid of Malcolm, the same way they got rid of Martin Luther King. I mean, they've been doing this stuff for a long time, and this is what they do. So, but I think that from our side too, because we can't just constantly blame the so-called pale man and things like that. But we have ego, some of us. Anytime you're attacking another person, giving information about our history, because maybe you don't like the way you look, you didn't like what he said, maybe you don't like his religion, I don't know. All of these types of things are strange. And then you got to understand this. A lot of us, we have students, no offense to our sisters, some of us are meant to be acting feminine sometimes. I'll give you an example, right? We'll say stuff like, if, for example, you say something I believe in or something you believe in, I take it personal, and now I don't like you anymore. As if to be Aboriginal or to be Indigenous, we have to agree on everything. That's not the case.
Right.
So when you have brother guys who disagree with you, a lot of stuff comes from ego. Everybody wants to be on top.
That's true.
So, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Uh-oh.
We lost him again. I think he's having a bad connection. But you know, the point he's making is a good point. But definitely the point that you're making, I'm definitely flowing with that, because I just don't seem to get it for the likes of me, right? How is that we know as a people? I think he's back. I'm gonna add him in, right? Go ahead, continue, brother. Go ahead. I don't know. But anyway,
How
how
about
is that? Yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
hello?
Yeah, you back on, brother. Go ahead.
So like I said, it's ego. I mean, you know, a lot of times, man, guys want to be on top. Because if it was about the people, if it was really sincere, then where's the institutions? I mean, where's the institution as far as, or for example, like I know my history and I'm learning it, but I'm still classified as Black and African American in the system.
Right.
So where's the institution to teach me how to get out of that? You know?
Right.
So,
right.
But you want to argue on Facebook? I mean, this thing is turned into Tupac and Biggie almost, man. It's like, you know, it's a bunch of grown men going back and forth on the internet in front of the enemy. It looks horrible, man. It looks bad, man. It looks sad, man.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though, and I'm gonna address, you know, Sister Onyx with that. Sister Onyx is not just the brothers doing it, but sisters are actually doing it. So what is the deal with that? I mean, what is the deal with that? If we as a people, we are talking about restoring the matriarch, how can we have this type of women, you know what I'm saying, you know, or exonerate this type of women in a matriarchal position with those type of energies that they have? What's your take on that, sister?
I wouldn't want any part of that so-called matriarch. I wouldn't want any part of that. Not if that's how it had to be, then count me out of it.
Right. But let me ask you a question, right? In your opinion, and I've addressed that a few times, but I would like to hear it from your opinion, from a sister's opinion, right?
Okay.
What do you think, you know, what matriarch means to you when we say, let's bring back the matriarch? What does that mean to you as an American Aboriginal woman?
You know, I recall looking at one of your Facebook posts, and I think it was Sister Elvis, and she said, you know, pretty much that there was a matriarch system that failed, then the patriarch system that failed, and now is the time for us all to join together and there to be balance between the male and the female. We're supposed to be in this together. So there is no, oh, it's about the matriarchs, or oh, it's about the patriarchs. It's about the Aboriginals joining hands and getting work done.
Right. And I respect that. So brother Issa, like when we speak of the matriarch, right? In your opinion, you know what I'm saying? What do you think that means to bring back the matriarch?
I'm gonna tell you what it means to me, man. It means to me what my grandmother and my great grandmother meant to our family, meaning they passed down the stories. You know, they passed down. The only way I knew that we had Indian in our family is from my grandmother and my great grandmother. They held on to it. They tried to beat it out of them. They tried to trick it out of them, but they slid it in there. You know, around the Christmas table, they would slide those stories in there. You know, and you always had a place to call home. You always had a place to go where you got your mouth wiped and you got smacked in the back of the head. You know, you had somewhere to go and get dinner on Sunday. I mean, this is, to me, the day of the strong indigenous woman, where grandma and big mama, you know, big mama, that's the matriarch to me. That she sat at the top of the table and she got up and she gave the 10-minute long prayer. If everybody remember that, the 10-minute you know, the 10-minute long prayer, and you looking at your watch like, grandma, listen, what we doing with the food? You know? So
Right.
Those days were missing. It's like when grandma was gone, there was no more Sunday dinners, there was no more getting together, there was no more family reunions. You know, that's what matriarch meant to me. And she kept the men in line. Like, you had to be a father to your children, or grandma was coming to see you.
Word. And you know what?
You know?
I'm glad you said that, because it reminded me of the movie Soul Food. And it seems like, you see, because they always put things in movies. When Big Mama died in Soul Food, it seems that we as a people, it changed the era of what Big Mama meant. You see what I'm saying? Because now grandmothers we started having grandmothers in their 30s. And that's when we started having all this change. Because You see, Hollywood, they watching and they know exactly what they're doing. So as soon as Big Mama died in soul food, everybody just fell off. And that literally transpired and transformed and manifested in our own lives. You know what I mean? So we as a people, yes, nowadays you have grandmothers that's in their 30s. It doesn't mean that we should lose the values of who we are. You see what I'm saying? It doesn't mean that. We should hold
Yeah.
on to some type of culture and identity. And to me, this is what this is all about. You feel me? And I'm glad,
Yeah.
Sister Annie mentioned about the matriarch and the patriarch coming together, because to me, that's what it means, right?
Mhm.
We had a matriarchal, in fact, who knows how it started? Okay. But anyway, there was a matriarch, there was a patriarch, and I just think we're in a different age where there needs to be balance. You feel me? The matriarch and the patriarch needs to come together and learn to respect each other and
Yep.
uplift each other, build each other, and move forward as one.
And fight together if need be. Fight against others, against who are against us. That's what it's
Exactly.
about.
And I know somebody mentioned ego in the comment. Sister Onyx, do you think that a lot of these sisters, do you think ego has something to play with it, or do you're just gonna cut it off and say, well, you know what, they are agents? Do you think women could also have egos?
Yes, but when I think about the women I know or the women that I associate with, we're not all about that. But yeah, there are some women who are just who has so much male energy that
Mm-hmm.
they become egotistical as well.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, I think that's a lot of the case in this whole scenario.
Mm-hmm.
I do agree with that. I think
Right, right,
I
right.
think it is ego as well.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want to be outdone. They got to be
Right.
on top, just like he said. As far as the men are concerned, there are
Mm-hmm.
some of those women who are just so testosterone driven that they are
Right.
egotistical as well.
But do you think in the case of the sisters, do you think that because the majority of the people putting the information out there is men, do you think that they feel they have a need to compete, and because they're not getting the shine that they feel they deserve or the attention they feel they deserve, then they have to come up against the men? Have you seen them going up against other sisters, or is just about the brothers? Well,
I
I,
think
because
it's
I don't know.
I think it's just up against the brothers so far. But
Mm,
now that you brought it up, I'm sure it'll be attack on other women. But
mm,
it's a little bit. I've seen a little bit of talk on Facebook with the
mm.
women. So
Right.
a little bit of both of that. Yeah.
Okay. So do you think now, how moving forward, right? I know a lot of people are really pushing and waiting for us to do the kumbaya thing, right? We have moves that need to be made. We have things to do, all right? Because like Brother Esau was saying, he's still in the system as Black and African American, right?
Right.
Now, should we? Is that a sign from the ancestors telling us, well, many are called but chosen a few, and it's only the chosen few that's going to take this where we need to go? So does that mean that we should ignore these brothers and sisters, all right, that's dealing in this low vibrational frequency and causing all this chaos and fighting and division? Should we just leave them alone and isolate ourselves? And if we should do that, how do we do that?
Well, I don't think we should allow them to prevent us from doing what we got to do.
Mm,
As that saying goes, one monkey don't stop no show. So
right.
while all the mucking around is going on, we
Mm,
still need to be being progressive. If they
right.
decide to join along later,
Mm.
then welcome to the family. But as far as right now, we can't let this stop us.
All right, no doubt, no doubt, no doubt. Well, you know what? I appreciate your input on that. I'm gonna see if I could get a few more people on board
Okay.
so we can build and talk. But thank you once
You're
again
welcome.
for definitely sharing your input, and
Thank you.
peace and love to you, and thank you
Peace and
again.
love to you too.
All right, appreciate you. All right, take care. All right.
Okay.
All right, so yeah, brother Issa, sister Onyx, she have left the conversation, but what I'm gonna do
Okay.
is I'm definitely going to invite a few more people in if they want to come, they want to come in.
Okay.
But definitely, brother Chris. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put the link in the chat, and then if anybody want to come on, let's see if we could do it in order, because I wanted to make sure that people could send me their email. But one or two that want to get on, if you want to get on, by all means, hit the link and I'll bring you in, because I'll still be able to control the panel. All right, so let's do that. So, Brother Issa, I was talking to Sister Onyx, right? And I was asking her, I'm not sure if you have noticed. Now, the sisters who are literally, doing the back and forth with the brothers, is it just with the brothers, or do you see sisters going at it as well?
Well, I only, for the most part, I don't see the sisters kind of going at it. Like, I don't see that part of it, but I definitely see the brothers going at it, because, like I said, I listen to a lot of the brothers, and I listen to some of the sisters too, but I don't know if they airing themselves out as openly as the brothers are doing. But like I said, Chief, the bad part is that it's over stuff like this. Like, look at the pettiness of it, and it'll show you that there's some sincerity missing here. And really, a lot of the shots are coming from a particular person or people, right, to another group of people who don't even say anything about those people, right? So what happens is the other people are firing back because they're being fired at, basically, right? So, for example, our history has been shredded apart. Our history has been shredded, right? So you got some group of brothers, they talk about the pyramids, they talk about ancient America. Then you have brothers who talk about more recent, talking about the laws, what happened to Trail-a-Tears, what happened in the 1700s, what happened in 1865. So they deal with those particular issues, right?
Right.
Then you may have brothers like yourself who deal with kind of a mixture of things, who deal more about explaining to us who really came here, people that look like us, like, And so you have that issue. Then you have some of us who are different. Yeah, you got some of us who, will say we're Hebrews. You got some of us who are Muslim. You got some of us who are this, that, and the third, right? So you'll find us arguing over two things. It's very strange to me. I just don't get it, because we got way more things happening to us as a people than these things. Firstly, all of us shouldn't be talking about the same thing anyway. So if you got some of us who want to talk in the pyramids, then, by all means, man, do what you got to do. You got some of us who want to talk about the laws and that they classified us as black and Negro and all that stuff like that. Fine, do that. You got some of us who want to talk about who are the Europeans and who really came here, the Moors and all that. All that stuff should be talked about. All of it should be talked about. So, but you got one people say, well, I don't care about the pyramids. What they got to do with right now? It has a lot to do with right now, because if you don't know your past, you don't know your future.
Word.
So, or you may have somebody, they arguing over personal preferences. Like, I'm not arguing with somebody over his personal choice about what he believes, because at the end of the day, right, these people that's in power, Muslim, Hebrew, Buddhist, whatever you want to be, you have original to them.
Right.
And at the end of the day, your name could be Abu, Kalinago, Little Boohead, Rail. It don't matter to them. All they matter to them, they don't want you to get this land back and your titles back. Right. Because everybody, to be honest with you, religion is not nationality.
Right.
It's not a bloodline. So it's a personal choice, and you don't have the right to not like me or to force your personal choice on me.
Right.
So, that's just how I kind of see what's going on. It just doesn't make sense. It looks childish. Really.
Right. So in essence, you're saying that, we should not focus on our personal choices when it comes to our religious beliefs, so to speak. All right. What we should really focus on is who we are as an indigenous people.
That's what I'm saying.
I agree. Introduce yourself, please, and let us know, what part of the country you're in. Yeah, go ahead, sis. You kind of you're on mute right now, but I'm trying to unmute you. You. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, I had to turn the YouTube video off. I was actually listening. I'm like, what's going on? So yeah, I hope I'm not interrupting, because what I was hearing, he was talking. So
Oh no, it's okay. By all means, and we happy that you joined the build. I have brother Issa with me, and introduce yourself, sister. Introduce yourself.
Yes, I'm Asia.
Yeah. But you,
And,
you was breaking up a little bit.
right now? Where you at? What part of the country you in, sis?
Come again?
What part of the country you in? What territory you in?
Florida.
Oh, you're in Florida. Okay, that's what's up. Well, yeah, so based on what we're talking about, this is a wrong table right now. We're talking about what's going on in this so-called community. It seems like the so-called Aboriginal community has turned itself into the conscious community. Why do you think there's so much disparity? And wow, I think we just lost her. Sis, I think we just lost you. I'm not sure.
Dropped out.
Yeah. If you could come back on and log back in, but it's always good to get the perspective of the sisters, because in all what we are doing, I'm just making sure that our sisters' voices are not getting lost in the mix. You see what I'm saying? Because they have to
no doubt.
be heard.
Oh, no doubt, Chief.
They have to be heard. So I'm making an effort to to do that and let their voices be heard, because they're the ones carrying the children, and they're the first teachers, they're the first nurturers, and we have to make sure that they are they're on point with you know what I'm saying? But
they're the backbone.
No doubt. So go ahead, sis, you back. Go ahead.
It was kind of breaking up. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
I'm really gonna have to go off of what I heard. There is a lot of things going on Facebook. It's becoming overwhelming at this point. Like, it's so much information out here, which is a good thing. It's just that it's a lot of bickering. It's a lot of ego. We are some complex and wonderful people. We really are. It's just, how are we going to bring us together as a people? You know what I mean? We already know that there's some people that are thinking that we're African descendants, or just these different ideas about who we are. I just want to know, what is it going to take for us to come to agreement of and implement a plan to bring us together? I would love to know, what is it going to take? I do have a suggestion that.
Did she drop out?
No, she's talking. She's talking right now.
I do have a suggestion that. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
I have a suggestion that, in order to be one with the women to be, in unity with the man, we have to be in unity with ourselves first. Like, we really need to be emotionally, mentally, physically, in every way, spiritually, aligned with ourselves. Because you can't understand another person and without the ego, without the ego leading, until you really, get yourself right. Everything starts with you. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
And a lot of our experiences that we've gone through personally is what drives us to feel the way we feel when somebody else says something that's against what we think it should be. But I say, if you have documented proof, that's what matters. You know what I mean? You have documented proof. If you have, the word of your ancestors, your people that came before you, that's just the truth, and that's what it is. But for a man to say, if you're not married, you should only wait, what did this man say, man? It really hurt my feelings. It's like real, like, patriarchal minded. Like, it's like, you already know we've been programmed, all of us. Why would you try to sit there and type on something where everyone could see and embarrass or belittle a woman, when these are the cards that we've been dealt? Instead of downing a woman or downing a man, you have to grow from where they at. You have to, start from where that person is, and we got to do better from where we are. It's nothing you can change from the past. You know what I mean? You got to start from where you are. And it's, bashing women and bashing men. That's because it's something that individual has a problem within themselves. And until they fix that, they're going to continue to have those ideas that they have. And they're going to keep supporting those thoughts against the people that they look just like them, that come from the same land that they come from. And we won't be unified that way. But I'm really tired of the ego. I'm really, really tired of the ego. Like, it's not about me. It's about us.
Right. And I'm glad you said that, sis. But let me ask you a question, right? Do you think that because again, I'm just asking, right? I have my own opinion, but I'm going to ask yours. Do you think that everyone who said they are us, they're actually us? Because sometimes people through genetics and their genes and their DNA actually speaks out.
Stop, Jakai.
You see what I'm saying? They say they're us. You see what I'm saying? Because they feel that's what needs to be said. But then within their inner self, that true self is resisting against them saying they are aboriginals, and they have to create chaos because in their true DNA, they're not actually us. Is that a possibility?
Oh, yeah, that sounds like a possibility. It's a lot of people that's coming in and trying to infiltrate, what we're trying to do. So I feel like we may need to just remove ourselves from this platform and find our own platform. There's plenty of platforms like this. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Facebook is a big, a huge way of being able to network with people and get, in tune with what's going on out here. But we need our own form of communicating and networking with one another, because, you got a lot of people that'll come in like wolves in sheep clothing. We got to be mindful of that. And I know that's what it is. But, you can also tell who's really real and who's not. Just, whatever's in the heart gonna come out the mouth.
Right.
Whatever somebody thinking gonna come out eventually. So it's really not that hard to find out who's the ones out here infiltrating and trying to cause division amongst one another. It's so easy to see.
Right.
It's so easy to see. But I've seen ego. We were talking about ego. I've seen that a lot amongst men. And I've seen it in some of the best. But how I look at that is everybody has ego.
Right.
Everybody does. It's just you have to use your ego in the best way, like in the most positive way. You can't forget about what the mission is. That's the most important thing. If you forget about what the mission is, that's what's going to cause us to fail. Like, I'm so proud of every one of us that are really coming from the heart with this. I really do appreciate everyone putting their thoughts and ideas and everything together. But when we put when we coming from a place of ego, it's always going to be a problem. True. Always going to be a problem.
Hey, how you doing? And you see that's what you see. And
my grandbaby.
Yeah. And that's why that's another reason why I'm so passionate about this, because these are the babies. You know what I'm saying? They have to know who they truly are. You feel me? But anyway, we have our sister. I see you change the name. All right. So we have let me just bring back the brother and sister. All right. So go ahead. So we have our sister Luna. So let her introduce herself, let y'all know who she is, who she used to be, and what part of the country she is in. Go ahead, sis.
Well, my name is Ashley. I also go by
We can't hear you.
You can't hear me?
Nah. Really low. It's really low.
Is it better now?
It's a little better. It's still low, but it's a little better.
Okay, I chose the name Mama Lunar because I go by
You low, sis. You're a whole lot low.
Can anybody hear me?
I can
Now
hear you.
You can't hear me, Chief?
now your volume is really low.
I don't know how to. I'm on my this. I don't know. Let me see. I'm turning it down. Is that better?
Oh, it's a little better.
This on Facebook?
Uh,
This is YouTube.
no,
Chief,
now we on YouTube right now. Yeah,
we on YouTube? Okay.
I
All
paused
right.
my
All right.
YouTube
yeah.
Somebody just asked me,
so you
so
won't get any feedback.
YouTube.
Okay.
All right, let me
All right, so go ahead, sis.
Okay, I'm going by this name. This is the name that I chose. My indigenous, my Aboriginal name is Mama Lunar, because I go by the different, stages of the moon, the lunar cycles,
Mhm.
and things like that. Like my grandmother before me, my paternal
Okay,
grandmother. So that's why I chose that name. And
okay,
she was a Cherokee, Anglo,
right.
full blooded. So yeah.
All right, that's
Um,
what's up, sis. So, welcome to the bill. In light of what we are talking about, it seems like there's a lot of infighting amongst American Indians, also known as American Aboriginals, Indigenous Americans, whatever we want to label ourselves as. Why do you think instead of us coming together and unifying, why do you think there's such a push for a division and chaos amongst, especially those of us that actually on social media? Why do you think so?
well, I'm gonna kind of piggyback off of what Asia was saying, because I overheard, when I finally got on, I heard a little bit of what she was saying
Mm,
about how we were brainwashed in that way. We kind of
mm,
brainwashed to think negatively against, towards people. This an agenda going on. They want to keep us at each other's throats. I've been listening to a lot of speakers that speak on these subjects too. The government has a lot to do with that, because they stand for a lot to lose. If we actually stand
Don't
up
do that.
and unify, come
mm,
together, know who
It
we are, and stand
does
on
to
that,
each other.
it's unstoppable. They don't want that.
mm,
So they got to keep us at each other's throat, no matter what, no matter how.
mm.
Keep us at each other's throat, and fighting amongst one another. Divide and conquer. That's what it is.
Mm. Right.
Basically, that's what it is. And
But
this is our land. It's our birthright. And a lot of
mm,
us are standing up and finding that out. And the government, they had control for a while. They don't want to
mm,
relinquish that control. So they got to keep us infighting and fighting wherever, to make
mm,
us hate one another. That
right.
Jim Crow thing, whatever, the Willie Lynch kind of thing is still going on today.
But
Even
but let me
though,
ask but let me ask you a question, right? Because as I'm talking, thoughts are coming to my mind. What if this is a situation where, all right, what if this is a situation where our ancestors are actually the ones, right? Allowing the chaos to happen, because we have to know who is real and who is not when it really comes down to the nitty gritty. What if this is the process of purging, and the people, okay, who are causing the chaos, they have to be purged out? But the ancestors are allowing these situations to happen so we know who's truly who. Could that be a possibility, and not just the government?
well, our government I believe it's our ancestors doing this. It's a process, but the government got their hand in it. Trust me, they got their hand in the cookie jar. This whole thing was set up by them,
Mm-hmm.
by whoever they may be. They were set up by them to
Right.
continue to control the masses.
Mm-hmm.
Um, as far as our ancestors goes, purging, I think that's a universal thing, because we are all going individually. We're going through that purging thing. So I think as a whole, it's the same thing that's going on, because our ancestors, they're waking us up. We're being awoken. We're given privy to a lot of different kind of information, who we are, what we need to do to get things, going back in our favor, and how to get our land back, and blah blah blah. Our ancestors got all of that. They're waking us up. As far as how the process goes and everything, like I said, the government is part of this. I mean, they're being used as a tool too, because if we never find out how important, how valuable this is, we're never
Right, right.
go. You know, they give us that pushback and everything else. And it means that we have to continue to fight for us. It's something that we need to fight for. Can't let go. You know?
All right. So, and I'm gonna ask Brother Issa the same thing, brother. I know because sometimes you see we only look at things from a physical perspective, right? Because we are dealing in the flesh, right? But a lot of us seem to be ignoring, or we are not aware of the also spiritual warfare that America just spoke of. Or if it's a situation where our ancestors are literally the ones pushing that purge. You see what I'm saying? Meaning that those people who are actually doing what they're doing, they were sent to do that, and they're just manifesting their purpose, and their purpose is to create chaos and division, so we know who's who and who the real is from the fake. What I mean, is that a possibility opposed to? I mean, and don't get me wrong. I know there are forces that yes, the government and all these different things could also play a part. But what if it's also nature, the universe taking her own course and saying, you know what, we need to make sure that the real ones, okay, who are truly about this, we have to separate the sheep from the goat. And even if they can't see them, we have to start letting the fake ones start talking their own truth, so we know who they truly are. What if that's a possibility?
I'm gonna say this, man. I learned this word, man, when I was overseas. When I was over in Egypt, man. It was old Arabic saying. It says this word is called fitna, and it actually means like to burn gold until the impurities come out, right? Like you melt gold to get the impurity, you let it get hard again, so it can be like pure gold. And that's what I think was what has to happen. All of our people probably won't wake up. I think sometimes stuff like this has to happen because you have to weed out the insincere people who aren't sincere. Because at the end of the day, right? Like I said in the beginning, if it's about our people, let it be about our people.
Right.
Now, if it's about subscribers, if it's about selling videos, then you need to move out the way, man, because you in the way. I think that a lot of times we have to start working on ourselves. Like, for example, when you're alone at the house and you're by yourself and you're walking, you're on a bus, wherever you may be, you got to start checking yourself. And I think a lot of us are not checking ourselves. So we're trying to scream at everybody else. We're mad at the Pan-Africans. We're mad at religion. We're mad at everybody. But then we look in the mirror like it's nothing incorrect about us. So I think that instead of always looking outside of the box, I think we got to start doing more inner checking of ourselves. Because at the end of the day, man, the stuff that I'm seeing it's not discouraging for me because I know who I am. I love who I am. And I know that we're going to get our land back. I know that without a doubt. But it's discouraging when you see us, the men should be the maintainers and the protectors of the backbone of our nation, which is our women. How we're doing that and we're arguing like we're in high school on YouTube. I mean, it's just, when I seen that this weekend, man, that's why I reached out to you. Because I said, well, wow, I mean, literally calling each other out, calling each other names, calling each other this, that, and the third. And I know that the enemy is looking back, saying, and I don't like using the word, but look at these niggas. Look at them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And see, you open up the door for this type of division. Now they're going to do is, all they got to do now is find somebody who's weak, pay him, somebody who got a low frequency, who's not vibrating like he should as an indigenous man or indigenous woman, throw some money their way, and then have him keep on doing this stuff. Every once in a while, he says something about you. He says something about a Mama Luna. He says something about this one. He says something about that one. And then once we fire back, they got what they want.
Right.
So at the end of the day, like I said, man, I don't want this thing to turn into Tupac and Biggie, man, because that's what it looked like it's going to.
Yeah.
And come on, literally, if we're offering something better than the Pan-African movement or whatever movements they got out here, if we're saying we're offering something better than the Moorish movements and all these other movements, then we have to be.
Oh God, what happened?
Yeah, he got kicked out. But
I was kicked out for a minute.
Yeah, he got kicked out. I don't know what's going on. But sis, just to build on what he's saying, right? What do you think, the solution is? You know what I'm saying? What do you think? Where do we have to go from here? And still knowing that we have infiltrators amongst our mix. Like, how do we separate the sheep from the goat?
Well, let me tell you about my own story. And you can pick up, once I'm gonna make it quick, okay?
Yeah. No, you got the floor. You got the floor.
Go ahead, sis.
what I'm going through with like that purging thing, the ancestors, they have taken me through like individually. I can't speak for all of us, but I can only speak for me, my own personal journey. Um, I'm purging like the wheat from the tares. I've been in the last month or so, the last few months, you know, I've been like this purging. There's people that no longer serve me, the bad energies, negative energies that's no longer that's not beneficial for me. All of that, I've been letting it go, and I've been surrendering to my ancestors. I've been meditating, and going within inside of me to find the answers that I need, and listening to spirit to see what spirit has me to do, to say, whatever to speak, because I am a teacher. I am a born teacher and a born leader. And it was but I had to go through a process of learning who I was, first of all, and then knowing who I am and my purpose, so to speak, that I have here to help waking our people up. Like you said, it is a purge that's going on. I can only speak for my own personal journey, like I said. I'm purging a lot of things, but the overall, the big picture is they are preparing me for those who are like-minded like me. We're going to come together.
Right.
As you see, we're going to come together, and our minds going to think alike. Our energies are going to be in sync, and all those things like that. The Most High been giving me dreams. I've been having dreams, so I know where I'm supposed to be going, who I'm supposed to hook up with, and get together with, and who I'm supposed to be sharing this thing to come together to make it stronger. Now, like you said, it's not all of us are not going to wake up, and if they do, we're going to do it in stages and levels, okay? And I know that it's immediate. Everything that is urgent right now that we wake up now, because of the situation is dire. It really is. But Most High don't work like that. He takes small groups of us, put us together, and do great and mighty things. He always have done that since the beginning. But whatever we are going to do is bigger than all of us, okay? This is just the beginning, or maybe we're in the middle part of it. Maybe we're at the end of it, but it's a cycle that's ending. A cycle that's ending and completing itself is going to be a new beginning.
Yes.
The so-called black man, I'm saying it like that. I know who we are, but for you, whoever they call us, the so-called black man and woman, are on the rise. We are going to take back whatever, and this is also prophetic, because like I told you before, I have gifts. We're going to take back everything that's been stolen away from us, starting here in these United States, in this landmass over here. And it's going to go out and be universal and everything else. But this is what's happening. And it's a purge is happening now. Because the friends and even family members that I have, I don't deal with them. I don't want to deal with them. I don't have nothing to do with them. They're not on the same like mind as me. I have a purpose, and I'm going for that. And I'm looking for other people that's like me, so we can build this thing up and go and continue to progress. And eventually, others going to come in. They see that we're being successful or whatever. We get into these levels and things like that. They're going to come in. They're going to join us. And, and it's a revolutionary thing. It's taking a long time, I know, because we're not on the same level. We're not on the same mindset. Right now, like I said, we're growing in stages, and at different levels. Right. But that's what's happening now. It is a purge going on. It's also unity that's happening too, is being brought together. Like I said, I've been having dreams, and sometimes I have to wait for the interpretation. What does this mean? I ask the universe, I ask the Most High God, what does it mean? What is that? Do I have a message for somebody? What is it? So that I'm starting with telling about my own journey. Because I know that I have a purpose, and it has a lot to do with this, who I am. I just found out this year, but I had it in my spirit that I was, but I didn't have any kind of evidence or anything, but I just knew who I was. I'm like, because it didn't make any sense. I'm like, that African, Pan-African thing and African-American thing, that doesn't sound right to me for a while, because, as he was waking me up, I was fighting against it because of all of the programming that, that I had to deprogram myself from. It took a while for me to get to this mindset to where I am now.
Right, no doubt. Yeah. All right, that's what's up. I appreciate that, sis. So go ahead, brother. I know you left off, and you got cut off. But go ahead, brother.
No, like I said, I was basically saying that, you know, this thing is really, man, is about what frequency you on. And I always say that if whatever spirituality you're doing and you're learning your history at the same time, like I'm a big person on knowing your identity and having a spirituality and using both those things to become a better human being or a better man. So a human being means something else, but we know what I mean. To raise your level. And I think that a lot of times, man, a lot of us haven't really used the information to actually grow. So we're stuck in the same, what I say, I call it niggerdom. We're still stuck in the same niggerdom like we on the block. So still stuck there, you know. So you know, if I haven't grown, if I haven't become a true indigenous person or a true Aboriginal American, if I haven't become that, that's something inside of me that's corrupt and dark. So I have to get it out of my system. And so what's happening with a lot of the stuff that we see, brother, we're not united. I'll give you a prime example. And we have all these channels, right? We have everybody talking. You telling me that we all can't create your own platforms. Why are we still using YouTube? Why are we still using Facebook? Why are we don't have say if a brother makes a curriculum, everybody need to be supporting that brother, get behind it. But no, what happens is that everybody say, look at me. You know, I got the information, you know, this and that. So nothing is getting done. So we're just sitting with twiddling our thumbs. And then we get mad when we say, oh, well, the European is kicking our behinds and this, that, and that. Well, he doesn't have to be kicking your behind. I mean, you literally can remove his oppression by not oppressing yourself. But at the end of the day, if Chief Kalinago or other than you, okay, is trying to do good things, why do I have to look at you as something different than myself because maybe your spirituality is different? No.
Right.
I'm going to call you on the phone like I've been doing, Chief. I'll call you. And we don't have the same spirituality, right? But guess what? We got the same blood running through our veins.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, when I see you, I see another indigenous man, somebody that I got to learn how to survive. And I think that what's happening is, and y'all can correct me if I'm, you know, man, you can correct me if I'm wrong because you're our elder. We don't see each other as.
All right, he got shut off. All right. Yeah, I know. I don't know. You know, he keep getting pulled off. But you know, just to and I'm glad he said that because, this is something I've been talking about myself, right? He just came back.
Yeah. I'm sorry about that, man. It's a bad connection here.
Yeah, it's okay. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
If we're not, you know, we don't see each other as a whole. So if one part of the body is sick, then all of it is. So, and we don't see each other like that. So, you know, we're not aiding one another. I mean, look at it like this. Why shouldn't the guys that's over like me? I'm new to this information. Less than 2 years. I don't know a lot. Most of the stuff that I know, I got from you, like Dane Calloway and listening to videos, you know, reading books, you know, asking my my elders in my family, you know, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? So guys that's been doing this for so long, the question is to them, why are you speaking bad about Chief or this one and that one? Won't you call the brothers and say, hey, man, look, there's a building somewhere. We can open up a school. We can have an indigenous history part of that, and we can have a trade school in there. What I'm saying, this stuff is not, it doesn't, 2 + 2 = 40.
Right.
So, you know, they can learn their history. The kids can learn their history, get off the corner, and also get a trade at the same time. So they can be, build themselves up. But all I see, man, is a bunch of going back and forth and arguing, man. And it was very disheartening what I see these last couple of days, man. It really was.
And let me tell you,
like I remember the guy, I called you. When somebody sent me something about Chief, I said, oh, hold up, I know Chief.
Right.
You know? So I called you automatically because we can't be stabbing each other in the back.
Word.
Divide and conquer. Conquer.
That's my thing. You know, that's just what I have to say on that, Chief. You know.
But here's another thing, right? And this is something I've been really thinking about. Okay, and that's what's really happening. Okay, a lot of our people that's waking up to this knowledge, they are taking the same route that the conscious community took, the Pan-Africans took. they're seeing an opportunity, and it's all about branding. I have to create my brand. I have to promote my brand. You see what I'm saying? I have to make this money. I have to promote this product. I have to do this. I have to do that. They are not seeing the big picture. Okay, my question is, all the brands that you're trying to create, all the things that you're trying to promote and sell, it came from the land. So my thing is, why don't we focus on getting the land? But everybody want to be individuals to create a brand. All right, I have to create my brand. To me, that's individualism. And that's what creates jealousy, envy, because our people are not in a place, all right, where they could be happy for another brother or a sister who is being successful, because we are still dealing with the mindset of the crab in the barrel mentality.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? Our people are still dealing with that. So when you have one brother trying to brand himself and then another one is trying to come up, then you're going to have cutthroats. You see what I'm saying? That's why I'm not too big on the branding. I'm going to keep it real with you. I try to open up a Patreon, and I still have it, but it's just not in my spirit to put it out just yet, because I don't think that we should have to go to the extreme, okay, to have our people pay for information when our people should naturally support what we are doing. You see what I'm saying? Because they pay schools and colleges thousands of dollars, okay, to learn things to keep them brainwashed and dead. And here we are giving them information. Your own intuitive to say, you know what, man, I need to support my brother or sister because they actually do something. They've changed my life. However, that's why I'm not mad at the people that's branding themselves, because they got families to feed, brother. So my sister, with what I just said, what's your response to that? People are branding themselves because they're not getting the support that they're supposed to get from the community. And if they just give away the information, they don't get the support. So now they have to change tracks for the information. So they're caught between a rock and a hard stone. So can we blame them for branding themselves?
I don't know. Not, you have to start somewhere. I wouldn't blame them. I would blame them if they don't, use all of that and come together. It's okay stuff out there to get yourself. But are you really helping anyone doing that? I mean, are you reaching the masses? Are you reaching anyone? I mean, the branding thing, I never really thought about that, but I mean, my thing is, are you unifying? Are you coming together with you got your brand over here? Are you bringing your brand, and connected with this other brand, and, and are you all bringing it together, unifying it, and reaching the masses, reaching people that need to hear you or see you? You may have a word or something like that, some information that can help somebody.
But here's the thing. But here's the thing, though. You see, it's okay for us to give the information and teach, right? But at what point are we going to put our feet on the ground to actually implement what we are teaching? We cannot just always be on the internet teaching. All right. At what point do we have to deal with the practicality? All right. Okay, we have the theory. We are teaching the theory. But what happens when it's time to get into the field? Because I hear a lot of people talking about, correcting status and, getting out the system. Why are you asking people to correct statuses and get out of the system when you don't have anything in place for them to sustain their way of life?
Right. In the real world, of 3D.
You see what I'm saying? So it's like me starting a program for brothers and sisters that's in jail. And when they come out, they have to go back to doing the same thing they used to do because I haven't created a platform or an opportunity for them to sustain their way of life. It is the same thing.
Yeah.
So how are we teaching people to correct your status? Oh, you're not black, you're not African American. But then when I go to be indigenous, what benefits are there for indigenous people? Why aren't we focusing on that, like Brother Issa said? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So then these people is like, hold up. You don't want me to be black. You don't want me to be African American. You want me to be indigenous. But when I'm black, I could get food stamps. When I'm black, I could get Section 8. When I'm indigenous, I got to go do shit for myself. Nobody's supporting me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So let's be real about this. Let's put ourselves in the place of the people we are actually trying to wake up. If they don't see us accomplishing anything, why would I want to do anything you're doing and you're still struggling? I mean, let's be real, brother. Go ahead, give me a feedback on that, brother.
Well, I'm gonna say this, man. It was something that happened to me a few days ago. It was sad, man. I have a group called Indigenous American Topics, right? And I made this group to bring to the so-called indigenous Muslim community about our history, because a lot of times when you're in religion, it doesn't necessarily take into account the history of the people that it came to, right? So one of my things was to expose that and bring that out in the open. So I have this group, and there's a lot of brothers they on there, and what I said to them, now I'm in Detroit, and I'm not from Detroit. I'm originally from North Philly, so I'm out here in Detroit. And Detroit is going through a change where the houses are $1,000, $2,000 to get the house. It's going through that phase, And so I told the brothers, I said, listen, man, we can get a house for $1,000. Actually, after closing costs, you might end up paying a little more than that. But still, I said, well, listen, if there's 20 of us, we all can come up with $100.
Right.
Something simple. And I got one person to say, all right, no problem. Everybody loves to talk now. Everybody loves to talk about getting our land back. Everybody loves to talk about we're indigenous. Everybody loves to talk about we're not African and stuff like that. But when I brought up putting your foot on the ground and dropping some bread down, boy, I'm telling you, it was like roaches with the light. The light came on, the roaches scattered, man. So I'm saying, hey, brother, roaches scattered, man. And so I said to myself, and the one guy that did say, okay, he said, well, I don't have like $10,000 to throw around. I said, brother, nobody ever mentioned spending $10,000. You see, you got every excuse not to stand up, but you have no excuse for sitting on your behind.
Right.
And so I think that, like you said, if you're telling me to change my status, first of all, where's the lawyers from amongst us that's going to help me change my status?
Right.
Okay. And then on top, once I change my status, I mean, Dad, you got a piece of land for me to go on? Where I'm doing my farming at?
Right.
Where I'm building this house at? What's going on? Okay, you telling me to change my status. Okay, now I got to take my kids out of the system and put them somewhere. Because now I'm not Black and African American, like you said. So where do I put them?
Right.
You understand? So I'm saying that I think we're putting the carriage before the horse.
Right. Right.
So I think that we can slow down a little bit, put our minds together, our minds together, and establish something. And as we're slowly bringing our people out the matrix, because the matrix feeds off the originals. All they're doing is feeding off us anyway, off our energy. So let's starve the system.
Right.
Starve them to death. But the only way we're going to starve them to death, we gotta slowly take the food from in front of them. Because a fat man, you move the food from in front of him, he mess around and jump on you. And you can't take the food from the fat man too quick.
Right.
So yeah, so I think that's what it is, man. And you're right, Chief. I think that nobody's talking about getting on the ground, because I hear a lot of talks. I listen to a lot of YouTube channels, and you're really the only one I hear talking about. I mean, there's others. Hey, y'all, come together. I seen you make the call to the land down there in Tennessee. Nobody. I mean, come on. I mean, how many times you gonna keep making the call?
Right.
How many times you gonna keep saying, "Come on, let's do it"? But nobody's doing it. But everybody's talking about getting our land back and the Pell Man, this, that, and the third. But okay, somebody just said, let's go help the chief down in Tennessee. Let's go build on the land. I called you, but then I'm sure nobody else really called you.
Nope.
But none of them guys on YouTube.
Nope.
I ain't talking about the regular people. I'm talking about the people that's on YouTube.
Yep.
Did anybody call you?
Nope.
That's the stuff I'm talking about.
Yep.
That's the stuff I'm talking about. So to me, you can beat me in the head all day, man. It's like, I hear you talking about the pyramids and talking about the mounds and what they did to us, but what's their plan on getting out of it?
Right.
Because listen, I said to myself today, tears came to my eyes yesterday, and I sat down, I was at work, and I sat down, I'm looking around, and everybody that owns the company that I work for is Arabs, right? So I'm looking around, and tears came to my eyes. So one of the brothers, the Indigenous brothers, he says to me, "You all right?" I said, "Yo, no, I'm not." He said, "Why? What's wrong, brother?" I said, "I'm in my own land working for a foreigner."
Word, man. That man.
I'm home. I'm in my own land. That's like me living in my house. And I'm a name for somebody, a guest.
Yeah, yeah.
Man,
That's
Well,
real.
that broke my heart, man.
That's
that
real.
I realized that too because the company that I work for, I'm the only one there, and I'll be catching flack. But you know what? I gotta trust in the Most High God. I don't want to be there. I'm there now, but I'm about to make a change. But I feel you. I feel you on that. I'm like, these people, these pale people, they're not even indigenous to this land. They actually, like probably second, third generation immigrants,
Yep.
children of immigrants, but they running things in my country, and I have to look up to them or whatever, and work for them and everything. And I want to be my own boss. I need my own thing, that makes me feel some type of way. And I'm like, that it's not right. But
But
it has to be, that fire has to continue to burn in me so that I
I
can
mean,
get out there and do something, make a change, be the change that I want to be. That's
yeah.
the reason why I believe that the ancestors
Yep.
put that fire in me to
Mhm.
make a change, and it's an ever burning fire. It's never gonna die out ever.
Yeah.
Long as I do
But
what I
here's the thing. Here's the thing that I'm grateful for. Like Sister Denise said, she called me. And the thing is, people who are subscribed to the channel, the listeners, I get calls and emails from them. All right. But the people who have platforms, I'm gonna just keep it real. All right. It is Crumb and Chief Holiday. They are the only ones that hit me up, check upon me. Hey, you know what, Chief? What's going on? Blase, blase, blah. So I gotta give them that. But everybody else, bro, it doesn't matter what I put out there to say, hey, hit me up, let's build. I don't hear anything from anybody. So I just personally think that everybody's again, go back to the ego. Everybody's trying to be the man. Everybody's trying to be the woman. Everybody's trying to be the one with the answer. I don't care who got the solution. My thing is, if you have the solution, tell me what it is. I don't care if you came up with it. All right. Let me know what the solution is so we all could come together. I will put the word out. You feel me? But if you're the one willing to, the initiator, you know what I'm saying? Then people think, well, okay, well, Chief came up with the idea, so I don't want to support him. Like, our people still got that childish mentality, bro. And it's crazy. So my thing is 2020 is coming, all right? And a lot of things are gonna change. And I tell people, don't look at 2020 as something to be afraid of. Look at 2020 as a means of vision. You feel me? That's why it's called 2020 vision. Let us look at it for what it is. All right. And start going within ourselves to truly find out who we really are. And are we truly part of what we see these righteous brothers and sisters trying to do? You see what I'm saying? And just do the honorable thing. And like Brother Isa said, get out the way. Let us be and let us do what we have to do, because we cannot afford to have people looking like us, speaking like us, but they are not us. You see what I'm saying? So again, it goes back to discernment, like somebody pointed out in the chat. We have to be able to point out who is real and who is not. But we got a lot of work to do, and we got to keep pushing. We can't stop. We got to keep the fire burning, like Sister Luna said. We got to keep the fire burning. So that's why I wanted to come and do this build. And if anyone is interested in coming and letting their voice be heard, I'm gonna put the link in there again. All right, and y'all could come on. So sis, in closing, is there anything that you wanna add? And I'm just gonna invite a few more people to so we could hear what they got to talk about and give their input. So in closing, is there anything that you want to say before you get out of here?
Well, I thank you so much for inviting me, and having me on this platform. I really appreciate that, and giving voice to so many of us and everything. Keep doing what you're doing. I'll keep sending positive energy. What I can do, and everything else. But yeah, I got to keep on keeping on.
Yeah, we got to. So thank you, Sister Mama Luna. And I love the title. I love the name, definitely. So hey, we always talk behind the scenes anyway. So we'll get a chance to build. But like I said, 2020 is coming, and as of January 1st, a lot of great things are gonna hit the airwaves. So I'll definitely keep you posted. I appreciate, love you.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Peace and love.
Peace and love.
All right. Yeah, brother.
Yeah, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chief, man. And one thing, man, is that what's very unfortunate. I think the brother's name, Johnny Aborigine, I think his name. I think he has some type of curriculum that he put together, something like that, right? It could be him or other than him, right? But where's the support? Like you said, where's the support of it? Like, if somebody has a curriculum like that, how are we all not talking about that? How are we not, you understand what I mean? Like, it just looks very bad. And like you said, nobody's calling anybody. Nobody say, hey, brother, let's do this together. Let's do that. It's for something very simple. Start a bank account or a cash app and say, okay, this is a building. This is what we found. And this is what, but soon as because we like to be entertained, man. We want to be entertained. So a lot of time we look at these YouTube channels and we like to get entertained. And if they want to hear about the Moors getting exposed, let's turn on Chief. But they don't get from you. Let me get off my butt. If they want to hear the Pan Africans blast, they go turn on our brother Attentionist one, which I benefit greatly from the brother. You know what I'm saying? If they want to hear about what slavery really was, they turn on Dane, or they want to hear. But at the end of the day, right? If that's not motivating you to say, I'm tired of our kids, and like my son was murdered in January. He was shot and killed by a stepfather.
I didn't even know that, brother.
So I tell people all the time, my nephew was killed in Philly. So I think it's like 100 and something kids under the age of 12 have been killed there this year. So we're going to keep seeing these types of situations happen as long as we're not getting off our butt and establishing some type of economic and educational institutions that our people can go forward. But YouTube and Facebook, to be honest with you, brother, they're not enough. They're just not enough.
Right. And you're absolutely correct, because, and like I tell people, we should just use YouTube and Facebook and Instagram, those platforms, as a means of linking up. You see what I'm saying? Because if we didn't have that, then we wouldn't know of each other. So let us use it for what it is. Okay, we can share information, but we need to go beyond the scopes of YouTube and Facebook. You know what I'm saying? We have to get on the ground, go in these inner communities, all right, and put in the work. Get flyers, promote this thing, man. Like there needs to be a massive, grassroots movement as to who we are, because we have to get the majority of our people of the mindset of being celibataire matus, which is dead in law, which is equivalent to being black. You feel what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, man, we have to find some ways to use this platform and materialize it in a sense of being on the ground, going to meet the people.
Hold on, Chief. I can't really hear you. Hold on.
Yeah.
I can't. Your volume is low, or my volume is low, or something.
Oh no, I could hear you just fine.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hold on, Chief. Hold on. Let me do something. Hold on. I'm gonna go in and come back in. I'm gonna go out and come in.
All right, cool. All right, so just thank you for being patient, family. Sometimes how these things are. When you get on and you're being productive and you're building. Sometimes some of the forces, what I'm saying, but we're not gonna give them power and victory over us. You feel me? But I think it's important, and for me, once again.
Yeah, I'm back in.
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I'm here. Go ahead. Now finish. Go ahead and say what you were saying, Chief.
Yeah, I was just saying that, we, again, yes, we have YouTube, we have Facebook, we have all these different platforms. That's fine. Let's utilize them, okay, to build, to link up, to connect, and then take that connection and actually bring it to communities. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Exactly. Having town hall, what them little town hall meetings, have those type of meetings. Create flyers. Go to local radio stations. Force them. You know what I'm saying? Force them to put us on, because if you look at the articles in On Trip, all right, we could use that as a means to get on radio stations, because in the articles, all the local media stations, they have a right to make sure that if they are in an indigenous community, they have to give a platform to the indigenous people. Why aren't we using UNDRIP? Why aren't we using AGRIP? Why aren't we using international human rights? Why aren't we using these things to our advantage and make, even if it's not legally binding, let's make it legally binding, because it's the people who have the power. The power shouldn't have the people. It should be the other way around. You see what I'm saying? But again, it's just too much individuality. Yeah. That's all it is. It's too much individuality. All right. And I'm here pushing and giving my all and wanting to make a difference, man. And like I said, it's only a few, man, you know, Chief Holiday. And so I'm always gonna big up Chief Holiday. You know what I'm saying? Even if we don't talk often, but the brother called.
Chief, man, I love his videos, man. Chief Holiday, I love his videos.
You know what I'm saying? So I always gotta give him a shout out. I gotta show love to Crumb. And it doesn't mean I'm not showing love to anybody else. I show love to everybody. But those are the ones that have platforms that call up on me and check up on me. I check up on him. You know what I'm saying? We may not talk often, but we know when the time comes, we know we have to link. We know we have to build. You know what I'm saying? So I'm always gonna big them up. You feel me? But I want people to know that on this platform, it's a different kind of energy. You see what I'm saying? We are not into the cursing and the debating and the beating each other up now. We ain't doing that here. We want people to know that, no, like in every situation, there are always people who are not like everybody else. And on this platform, I want to be the difference. You see what I'm saying? I want people to know whenever they come on American Aboriginal Sun platform that it's about love and unity. Even if we have disagreements, we are not going to disrespect each other. You feel me?
Yeah.
And then I think it's a matter of you respecting yourself. If you don't respect yourself, you're not going to respect anybody else. If you don't have any type of high esteem or love for yourself, you're not going to love anybody else. So people need to fall back and start doing some inner searching. Some healing needs to be done before they could come out in the public and try to heal people. How are you going to heal people and you haven't healed yourself? I don't get it, man. Anyway, I digress, brother. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, brother. Yeah, brother Esau, go ahead.
Yeah, Sid, you're breaking up a little bit. Hold on, Chief.
Yeah, I said, go ahead. Go ahead. The floor is yours.
No, hold on, Chief.
And brother Max V, man. You know, like I said, you could come on, brother. I just put the link in the chat. You know what I'm saying? So come on. You know what I mean? Let's build. And Chief Holiday, hey, the link is below, man, in the chat. You know, by all means, join the build. Yeah, go ahead, brother Issa.
Yeah. Can you hear me, Chief?
Yeah.
Yeah. At the end of the day, man, is like I'm gonna keep saying, I'm gonna repeat myself again. If it's about the information, it's about the people that you're giving the information to, then just be sincere about it, man. Be sincere about it, and let it be about that. Because if it starts to be personal, that's a problem. Now, don't get me wrong. If somebody take a shot at you and somebody is talking about you, you don't have to accept somebody's bad behavior. You got all right to defend yourself, no matter who they is. But sometimes you'll see somebody they come on the block, they got a new channel, they want to do. Then they start attacking the people that was already preceding them, as if they say, "Hey, man, I'm taking the block over." I mean, this is the niggerdom that I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Because you don't have to do that. You know what I'm saying? So, like I respect a lot of guys, man. Like I said, when I first came into this, man, it was you, Dane Calloway, Conscious One, Chief Holiday, Carameo, people like that. That they, these are the first videos that I started looking into. I think like Time Drop and those type of videos and stuff like that, looking into them. And I learned a lot from them. I'm not saying I totally agree with 100% anybody says, but guess what? Most of it I agree with, and I take the information and I try to apply it. The problem is I hear a lot of talking, but man, I don't see nothing being done, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Nobody's like, you'll listen to the brother Continental One, you listen to the brothers, and they're giving all this great information. But when it's going into our ears, are we physically manifesting it into bettering ourselves and being productive? And that's not happening. That's not happening, man. Then you just being entertained, to be honest with you.
Word. I guess that's the version of edutainment, right?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's basically BET. So, you want to listen to it, and then, you want to try to find out who beefing, and you want to listen to this, and then, and at the end of the day, we got way more important things to worry about than these small scrabbles. Like, just because somebody don't use the word American Indian, you don't like them? I mean, we're going to argue with each other over English words. Or Spanish words. At the end of the day, okay, you call yourself an American Indian. I understand those names in the treaty. I understand we might have to use that name or that term in law. I get it. It's better than saying black. I get it.
Right.
But at the end of the day, if somebody say, well, I'm not going to use that term, I'm indigenous, I'm going to use Aboriginal. I mean, we're going to sit and actually have an hour and 2 hour long videos on arguing over that. I mean, this is the stuff that's going on, bro.
Word. Yeah,
this is the stuff. I mean, come on, man. Like, you can't be serious, man. I mean, so I think that all the brothers, and I'm saying, this is a call to all the brothers, man. This is a call to me, myself, Chief Kalinago, the brother Chief. I don't know you brothers, and I hope you don't, be upset by me. I'm not calling you out. I love you brothers, and I benefit from you greatly. I mean, I listen to your guys' videos every single day, and I benefit. Together, like, reach out to Chief. Reach out to Chief Holiday. Dane, come on, y'all. Let's let's come together, get your own platforms, and do a build together. You know what I'm saying? I should see everybody's name down here at the bottom doing a build. We can get to know one another and feel comfortable with one another, and maybe start now economically dealing with one another. There's buildings that's sitting around. There's land sitting around.
Right.
So that's my call to a lot of the brothers, man, that I got nothing but respect.
No doubt. Yes, brother Chief Holiday, man. Welcome to the build, man. What's going on, brother? What's good?
Hey, peace.
Peace and love, brother. How you doing?
Peace to the God, man. I'm great, man. Hey, who's the other brother on the platform?
Yeah, that's brother Abu Isa, man. That's a brother I've been building with for a little while now, man. He reached out and the brother got great energy, man. And I tell him, you know what, brother, I'm gonna do a build and I'm gonna bring you on. You know what I mean? It's time we start seeing some fresh faces and hear some new voices. You know what I mean? So, brother Isa, me, brother Chief Holiday. You know what I mean?
Hey, peace, brother Isa. Brother, appreciate your energy, man. Hey, I want to definitely greet you, man. And all the great greetings that you can greet a brother, but definitely all honor to you, King. And like I said, peace and love to all American Aborigines. I like to say first Americans, you know what I'm saying? And I want to address, kind of what the brother was just saying. It makes sense. It absolutely makes sense to me. We're saying, okay, what's going on? We have to start talking about that. You know what I'm saying? What's actually, other than just talking. Okay, we have this information now. What are we gonna do with the information? For me, in this process that we're doing,
Yeah, you kind of you sound a little faded, brother.
Okay, peace.
Yeah, that's a little better. You just sound like you know this.
Peace, Chief. Peace, Chief Holiday. Peace, brother. Peace, brother.
So we're talking about work that's being done. I mean, it's steps to it because I feel like, we're putting these vibrations out as a part of the social battle that we're fighting. And I think that's a part of it because we can't do anything else until we attack the social, the sociology of our people. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody else can come up off of our people because we don't deal with each other like that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? We're dealing with a social issue first. Like the brother said, edutainment. You know what I'm saying? So me, as a political scientist, as a brother who I'm private, bro. I don't like doing live streams. I don't, you know what I'm saying? I'd rather be in the community. I come from the community working. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing radio, doing this, about the community working. But what I find is that we're dealing with a social problem that our people don't support certain things. businesses, for instance.
Mm.
So when you start looking at it, why is this happening? You have to look towards, okay, how are we program through music, right? Through television, through entertainment. And I come from the entertainment world. So for me, you know, I'm gonna bring that expertise to the table, and we are on their platform. For instance, their way. You know what I'm saying? On camera or on screen, for instance, right? But we're doing a lot of work behind the scenes too. You know what I'm saying, brother? So when I hear brothers like you, I say, well, bro, we need to join with brothers like this because he's willing to work. Because that's what it's really about, you know. Work, man. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what makes you a leader. So we have people saying, well, he's not a real chief and he's not a real chief. If you became a chief on YouTube, then that's sad. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're supposed to be a leader working in your home before they had a YouTube. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times people gauge themselves off of when they found out the information. You know what I'm saying? Some of us were in this and we forgot it for whatever reasons, and it goes back to being socialized in the music and the culture. So we have to bring it back to our people. In the apparel that we put out. You know what I'm saying? We got a shoe company. You know what I'm saying? American Aboriginal Shoes. When you okay, well, what else can we do? You know what I'm saying? When we talking work, we have to attack where our people are at. Like we don't have our own power plants. Shout out to Todd Data, man. We gotta have our own water plants. We gotta have things that our people need.
Right.
So yeah, we talk. I mean, let's get to work.
Word.
That's why I'm with it.
Oh, you're absolutely right, brother. And you know from day one, brother, you know, I've been down, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, that's how we, you know, we rocking. So we just have you know, another brother, the boy. Brother, introduce yourself, let us know where you at, what territory, and let's build, brother, you know, give your input.
Yeah, I'm just tuning in on the chat, you know, and say peace and love to the chat and everyone on the panel, you know.
Yeah,
and just here to build with you guys. I'm here in Canada, you know, you know, everybody is listening. People are listening from all over, so you know, we're one people on the continent, and we got to come together and make things work for us.
Yeah.
So I'm just here listening to you guys and see what I could input, what I could add, and you know what I could learn.
No doubt.
At the same time.
Yeah. Well, we have our brother, you know what I'm saying? He's in Canada right now, you know, and of course, you know, like I tell people, the United States is not America. Okay, America is a continent, and we are definitely linked by our birthright, our pedigree is the American soil. So we have that in common. You know what I mean? So once again, it's a matter of trying to find some way, like 2020, January 1st, you know, I'm going to be launching something amazing. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I'm going to reach out to people like the likes of, you know, Chief Holiday, Brother Issa, the boy, you know what I'm saying? Those are the people I've spoken to the boy on the phone. You know, I've spoken to Chief Holiday on the phone. You know, me and Brother Issa, you know, we always talk. If there's a situation, he hit me up, hey, Chief, this is going on, blah, 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 blah. So that's how we build relationships. You know what I'm saying? We building that brotherhood. And for me, everybody know I'm big. I'm literally big on making sure our women have a voice. You know what I'm saying? Because we cannot do that without our sisters. I don't want to see brothers rise and then our sisters are still down there on the top pole looking up. You feel me? I want our sisters because we have to show the world that we respect our women and that our women have a voice and they are valued and they are appreciated. You know what I'm saying? So anybody who cannot respect that, they already know Chief Kalinago, I'm not going to rock with them. You know what I mean? Period, point blank. But like Chief Holiday was saying, you know, we have to do something, man. We have to do something. So I'm definitely going to, you know, reach out to him like I always do. He always do, vice versa, and let him know that something that's going to be launched January 1st. All right, that's going to be a benefit to all of us, because once again, it's what we have in common we have to work with. Like Brother Issa was saying, I don't care if you're a Christian. Yes, we all talk about Christianity, we all talk about Islam, we all talk about religion when we want to. But when it all boils down to everything, what do we have in common? So what you call your God a different name? So what you go to a different church? So what you got a religion and I don't? It doesn't matter. What do we have in common? We are the original indigenous Americans. Just like Chief Holiday said, we are the first Americans. We have that in common. So let's focus on that and build on that. And then we will work out the kinks later. Whatever little differences we have, let's work it out. Man, listen, we're from North, South, and Central America. That's all us. We are one people. So we have to realize that. And we got to stop allowing them to bring the divide and conquer amongst our people, man. Is that simple? You know what I mean?
Now, could I would like to direct the question to Chief Holiday if he's still there.
Yeah, he's on. Go ahead,
bro. Peace, brother. Peace, Chief Holiday.
Yeah, he's
still there. He's still there?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, but first thing is, man, like I said, I always check out your videos, brother, every day, you and Ty Data, man. I love y'all videos, man. And sometimes I sit through the whole thing. They be 5 hours sometimes, right? And, the first thing is my son, he loves to say the statement you make. You see how that works. For some reason, man, he done took your catchphrase, man, he used it. But my question would be, I would like to hear your response from that, because I heard Chief Kalanaga, Chief said it, but for example, I just started learning this information about maybe less than 2 years ago. And obviously within the system, I'm still classified as Black and African American, but to myself, I know clearly that's not what I am. So would you advise with people trying to go legally to change their status and get them out of the system when we don't have anything in place for them to go to? And what would be your advice? So should we just, you know who you are inside yourself, your family know who you are, you're working with that. Should you establish something to go into before you get yourself out of that system? Or should you get out of the system without having to worry about that? Just get yourself out of the system. So what would you advise with that, Chief?
Hey, peace, bro. Thanks. For me, for instance, I feel like, and I just speak for me and how I would direct my family. You know what I'm saying? Because I think it gets kind of weird when people try to tell other people about legal advice when you're not a lawyer, so on and so forth, right?
Mm-hmm.
For me, I'm an American, right? I didn't go there, So I just want this for me, for Chief Holiday. I want this government. I don't have to be no tribe. And I'm gonna actually probably not go by this phone call to the Cherokee Nation. I don't recognize any nation, right? I'm Choctaw. I don't recognize Choctaw Nation as being legitimate. I don't recognize the Choctaw chief. You know what I'm saying? So I'm a renegade, right? So when it comes to America, right? We wrote the Constitution. We wrote these treaties. We built this country, these states. This is our stuff, right? So we have been alienated away from our stuff. For me, I came full circle, right? I was like, man, fuck this. I ain't fucking with this. Fuck America. Like, you know what I'm saying? I just wanted to be an African. Yeah, I didn't even want to be American. So trust me, I understand what people are saying. They just came into the information. I got socialized away from my heritage, away from my power. And that's Americans. We Americans, and we have let immigrants fool us to believe that they are Americans and that we come from Africa. Okay? This is our country. This is our land. This is our heritage. This is our birthright. Now, if we are the people, then the people can change situations, change laws, change these are shit. These are documents that we can change to better the American people, the true American people. They know who we are. So that's the first thing. So I need them to recognize me, for instance, me. I raise my hand up. Who I am, what's my birthright, who we are, and I shouldn't be taxed or counted. People say, well, Chief, what are you going to mark on on the census. Nothing. I'm not fucking with the census. It has nothing to do with me. See how that work? Shout out to your son, man.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying to watch my mouth too, y'all.
Oh yeah, my
I
son,
really
man.
do
Yeah.
go into this to give you the understanding how this really is, man. We honor papers and things that people they say that they wrote, but when you actually get into the actual laws and things like the 1866 Civil Rights Bill, right? That's for everybody. Everybody can come in, and anybody that's an American can benefit from the 1866. So when when you saying you're a Black American, where is that at in law? That's a social. So what we're doing socially is when y'all see us on 24 hours a day, right, 7 days a week, we're forming our own social media. We're forming our own social platforms to fight against other people's stuff, and they put their own stuff out. And so far, a lot of people to make you believe that you're Black, but you're not Black, brother. We're brown. So those are the people that they found when they came here. But what they do is they say, "Oh well, John Smith, he was British, and these people were French and Spanish. We were the Americans."
Could I interject in
Absolutely.
to that statement? Not really trying to disagree or anything, but I heard you say you're not messing with the census, and then we went on into detail about when the colonizers came, who was who, and what was what. But I would think that the census is important, especially at this time around, because this is the time now when we could put ourselves back on the record to to show or the generations that come after us that yes, we did put ourselves back on the record. We did state who we are, because that's what the census is. It's asking you who you are. So because when we're referring to our ancestors and our genealogy, we're gonna have to go back through them census too, and show how our ancestors were actually documented and recorded. So I think it's very important, and this it's like a ship or a train that we shouldn't miss this time around, because right now we have the power to put ourselves on the in on the bill, pretty much in the political spotlight, where they can't deny us now, because it'll show millions of people on the census that they're trying to deem as African American, identifying themselves as American Aborigines. And that is a huge statement. You see, we could be on YouTube all day and do all sorts of this all day and file all sorts of paperwork all day. But if we want to put two and two together, like TMH was saying today on at Darkness Assembly, he was saying, yeah, that's a federal document. So put two and two together. If it's a federal document, and you keep the original copy and you get it notarized by the courthouse or something, now you have a federal copy, a federal record, you identifying yourself. That's powerful. It's powerful documentation. And
Right.
so along with your genealogy, nobody can deny that's
Hey,
who
brother.
you are.
That's why I said this is for Chief Holiday, right? But from my perspective, let me give you why I say that I'm not participating in it, because
Because I think we should all come together as a unit and do that, because since it's going around, right, it's gonna go knock on every door, and the least we could do to identify ourselves is that. You know what I mean? If we can't make it down to the courthouse, if we can't get the affidavits done, if we don't know the right paperwork, at least we could put that paperwork in, right?
Okay.
And that's a record, like that's a census, like it's a
All right.
huge
Well,
thing.
that's
I don't.
that's one perspective of looking at it. But let's hear Chief Holiday respond to that. So, Chief, you heard his version of why he think we should do the census. Now, what's your take on that? Are you speaking of yourself personally, or you just thinking in general?
Well, like I said, just from my research, right, that in researching census and what they're used for, it's violating the UNDRA, it's violating the Geneva Convention, right? So the same way that our ancestors, some of our ancestors, right, because sometimes other people spoke for everybody else, that they didn't have the authority for that. And we know the history of that, right? So my ancestors, I just feel it. They wouldn't have wanted to acquiesce to anything, to any documentation that these people were bringing forward to document us, to count us, to tax us. That's putting you in servitude to these people. That's what we're talking about. When they say we're not to be, when the Constitution says that we're not to be taxed or enumerated, when they say enumerated, that means census, brother.
Right. That's true.
So that's what I'm gonna go with that right there. And why, just so when I weigh in the pros and the cons of it, I don't need them to, in their documentation to identify myself. First, that goes with you, and it goes with who you say you are. You know what I'm saying? So it was just that's how I say that, brother. And
yeah, and I totally, I respect both perspectives. And for me, I'm more or less, swinging, in the direction that, Chief Holiday is swinging, because like he said, to be enumerated, we are a distinct people. We are the only people that's actually mentioned in the Constitution. So that should tell you something in itself. All right. When the first census was taken in 1790, our ancestors were not supposed to be on any censuses, period. You know what I'm saying? Because again, it's part of the allegiance that they were supposed to have for us. They know who we are. All right. What we need to do is step up. All right. And let them know that we know who we are. All right. But for me, I personally, and that's just me. All right. I don't like, having them, tell me who I am, or you have to tell me, well, okay, well, I have to give you this document for you to solidify who I am. You know what I'm saying? Now it's like I'm still giving you the power. And another thing with this census is, to me, again, that's just my own opinion. All right, they use that to see who's really who, where you are at. You feel what I'm saying? And then they say, oh, well, we're gonna give a certain amount of funding to that community. But if they find out that you have 20,000 people in an area that was so-called black, all of a sudden the American Indian, do you really think they're going to give you that funding when they have $5 Indians taking our place right now? I mean, come on. And again, that's just my perspective. Maybe I'm seeing it from a different perspective. But the boy, I totally see where you're coming from, but I'm actually rocking on with Chief Holiday on that one.
Okay. I would like to say, like, what would be the catalyst for anyone? It could be you, Colin, Chief Holiday. You could be you, Chief Holiday. Anybody can answer. What would be the catalyst at some point that we will see our people snap out of it? When we see like for example, you know how sometimes it takes everybody on different levels. So like for me, for 2 years ago, I still thought I was African. Okay, I mean, until I woke up and I started watching the videos like Dane Calloway, Chief Holiday, stuff like Conscious One and stuff like that. And I started going in this direction. What kind of catalyst does it need, or there will be one at some point where our people, just like the Thundercats, and the guy put the sword and our eyes blow up, at some point snap out of this thing? Is it going to be a Thundercat moment, or we're going to go through a transitional period? What do you guys think? I would like to hear what everybody thinks about that.
Well, Chief Holiday, go ahead. I'm gonna let you take that, and then I'll have the boy chime in on that. Go ahead, brother.
Well, I think we're going through a transitional stage right now, brother. You going through a transitional stage, right? So when we're talking about work, not only people are waking up to themselves, but then they waking up their family, their community. Saying, look, you're my cousin. We have the same great grandmama, right, and great grandmama, right? So when it says right here that she's a member of this tribe, or we come from, you know what I'm saying? So this is changing people's lives in real time, because people are literally like who like in my real life that were against this, right? Now we Africans, blah 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 blah. But once they're going so hard against it, right? So they say, well, look, don't worry about Kunta Kinte, worry about your grandma, right? So then somebody died in their family, then they find out that this is what we're saying is true. See, that's the word, brother. So people are getting land back. You know what I'm saying? That was in their family that they didn't know they had. You know what I mean? Things are really happening. What has to happen is a mass, like for me, I speak for all the people that don't know that they're American Aboriginal. You know what I'm saying? They don't know this. They don't, they're not doing the research on their family, whatever. They just going off of what social, because they don't even teach this in school unless they still teaching this. They can't, bro, it's against the law for them to teach that we're African. We're not African. It's against the law. That's true. That's X-Clan. You know what I'm saying? That's Thug DM, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's hip hop. So guess what? Guess what hip hop's making information right now. So once everybody in hip hop, not just rock, everybody in hip hop is gonna be saying this. Shout out to Lord Jamar. Everybody's gonna be saying this. And guess what? These youngsters are smart. They're not dummies. So when they like, what the hell? We got more pyramids in America. So I heard that on Aboriginal Power Channel. You know what I'm saying? So they want to be archaeologists and things like that because they might have heard, oh, I heard of Naya, I heard of Luzia, I heard a little ghetto boy up in Montana. These are the oldest bones in the America. Copper color people. They can't get around that, bro. You know what I'm saying? So this is gonna change universities. This is changing the course of time, bro. It's changing history, bro. So I don't discount any work that anybody's doing. You know what I'm saying? I really don't, because somebody's learning from somebody. So they might come through anybody and get this information. They're gonna find, okay, well, I heard of Dan Calloway. Now I've heard of this guy. I heard of this guy. I've heard of these guys. I've heard of these people. Because you know how the algorithms are, and you're gonna learn. You're gonna find out stuff. You're gonna go look up books. So that's what we're doing. So people say work. They have worked our people's brains into submission. We're willing slaves. So we got a lot of work to do just socially. So I think, when people say there's no work, yeah, that's a tough one for me. We put in, you know what I'm saying? A lot of pain. Like I remember it wasn't no Aboriginal community. Chief Colorado can tell you this. There's no Aboriginal. We was going around here, everybody think we fucking black Indians. What y'all want to be Indians for? Didn't your grandma say you was Indian? Well, I'm with your grandma. Me and your grandma was on the same team. How about you? We Blackfoot, we Choctaw, we Seminole over here. What are you? So when these fools are telling us who they are, they got to go get a spit in a tube and find out what African tribe they may be associated with, that they cannot get in with the spit in the tube. You know what I'm saying? We right here. It's respectful to tell us that who we not. So for you, for instance, you can't listen to me because we don't have the same ancestors.
Right.
You got to do your work for you and your family, and that's what's happening in this community. So now you have the ADOS that comes from this community, whether it's a government setup or whatever. But guess what? You know what they're saying? Tribe and lineage. That's all I need to hear. You know what I'm saying? That's all I need. When somebody says doing a lineage, guess what they're not gonna find? Slaves in Africa. I push this, bro. So when niggas say stuff like, bro, I gotta wake you up like we doing the work of Harriet Tubman. You know what I'm saying? You gotta tell people that they not safe. So I gotta trick you or whatever, or shame you or whatever, or jank you enough, or make you feel bad enough, right? To make you go prove me wrong and go do your genealogy on your own family. Guess what you're gonna find? If you really being real about it, you're not gonna find African. And I know people that's on the other side went back to the 1700s and they still in the Americas. I'm like, bro, you're in the 1700s. What are you talking about? You know how many ancestors you have in America in the 1700s, bro? So you see what I'm saying? So when people are giving credit to the civilization builders and the givers of this land that we're standing on, bro, that's war, bro. So people act like, well, I'm so hostile. Like, really? You what are you doing is you're telling me my grandmother, my great grandmother, and my ancestors, liars, on our land. Nigga, I'm punching your face. Like this. What else do you expect? We're not in Africa telling nobody in Africa nothing. Right. You niggas is over here telling us who we are. Disrespecting us on our land. We supposed to be cool about that? Like, is that real? So like we don't supposed to be on the warpath when people are disrespecting you on your own land. From that's anybody, that's any immigrant. So when they're talking make America great again, we saying America first. We the first Americans.
Right.
That's the thing though. They're here occupying American soil, and they got a lot of guns, and we gotta be strong and peaceful. We gotta we gotta
I
know how we're
I
gonna
think
rise up.
both of you guys are talking at the same time. So let me just let Chief Holiday finish up, and then the boy, I'll let you chime in, okay? Because he's still talking. Yeah, go ahead.
I just want to say to the brother, man. I didn't want him to tell me where he's from again, right? Because we might have a different outlook on censuses and just educational system and stuff like that too. But point being is right that this is America. Every plane, every automobile, every tank, every bullet is ours. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know what more to say, bro. So I think we have to get more American minded as opposed to being like, oh, we the little guys. The only way that we can get into power is that we got to throw rocks at tanks. Come on, bro. Like,
right.
Our tanks. Like we invented every goddamn thing that the world is using, but everything that's happening on our land is ours, bro. So when people like Trump, when he came here and when his people came here in 1928, bro, Trump is an immigrant. So we have to start putting European Americans in an immigrant status. Get them out of American status. When they say America, they know who we are. The world knows who we are. It's a picture, could be a picture of me and Chief Colorado chilling with the American flag. That's our shit. This is our land. So y'all can respect that or check it. When people say shit, I'm like, well, what are you gonna do with America first? What are you gonna do with that? What are you gonna do with that? Are you gonna be mad? If you are mad about that, that means you need to go back to Morocco, go back to Kenya, go back to Europe, wherever the fuck you from. Go home. That's how about that? We don't deal with racism. We don't deal with castes or classes. We don't deal with none of that in America. Because if we deal with that, y'all wouldn't be here. Trump wouldn't have if we would have said no immigrants allowed, Trump would not be here right now.
Exactly.
So we have to start thinking more political power when we're talking. We can't talk from a weak position. That's our money in the government. That's our money. So we need to be in position to put the money where it needs to be at. So we're not in position to do that. Something that we need to start focusing on that. If it takes 20 years to get into that position, that's what we got to do. But
no doubt. And I appreciate that input, brother. The boy, go ahead and build on that.
Yes, Chief Holiday. Yeah, I'm here, brother. Yeah, Chief Holiday. I hear what you're saying, brother, and I'm not disagreeing with none of what you're saying. I'm just saying that to add to it that they are here, they are occupying our soil, and they've been here for 400 years, occupying our soil with a lot of ammunition. So every time we try to rise up against us, what do you think? Every time we try to rise up against them, like to get our power back, they demonize us. They're always going to do that. That's just how it is. So we got to be very careful. That's all I'm saying.
But here's the thing.
We have to be careful in.
The boy, I totally get your point. But even before I give my input on that, I'm gonna drop some information. But we have Rising Waters on the call. Let Rising Water introduce himself, herself. I'm not sure if it's a brother or a sister.
Yes.
But go ahead, fam. The floor is yours.
Can everybody hear me?
Yeah, we can.
All right, great. Yeah, my government name, Jeffrey Stansel, Jr., from California. I'm came into the knowledge, like everybody else about 2-3 years ago. Growing up, raising a Christian family, so got that background. And I'm just happy to be a part of this build.
All right, no doubt. So have you done, any of your family genealogy, your family tree, and where your family's from?
Yeah, I've did a little research, looked at birth certificates. My grandmother, on her birth certificate, it said Muskogee, and then that was crossed out. And on top of that, it was Road Creek. So got that kind of background, been having conversations with family members. A lot of people still on the African trip. But you know, having those conversations, you know, found out where my mother's side of the family was from, and my uncle was saying we're from Haiti, you know, so we were kind of going back and forth about Haiti being in America or it being, you know, African part of Africa. So, you know, it's a lot of confusion, you know, in families and, you know, just within our culture. So I'm just happy to be here.
No doubt. And I appreciate you, Rich. We're happy to have you too as well, because what they need to know is that Haiti is actually in the Americas. Haiti, you know, that's the Taino, Arawak, you know, the Arabs as well. So they actually were the first. Hispaniola was the first, one of the first landmass that this so-called Cristobal Colon came to and actually called us West Indies or West Indians. You see what I'm saying? So Haitians need to know that they are actually American aboriginals, because people think that the culture that we have here, it came from Africa. It's the other way around. We gave civilization. So our people need to be taught that. You know what I mean? Because everything was taught in reverse. You feel me? But let me just build on the whole point of occupying our land. And the boy and everybody, maybe you don't know, but I want everybody to look this up. There's something called occupancy laws. Like when you're occupying, it's called occupancy laws. All right. And right now, the United States, based on international law, they have the right to be here based on occupancy laws. You see what I'm saying? Because they took our territory by force or by treaties. So we have to look at law. I tell people, in order for us to know where we are at and what we are dealing with, you cannot just know history. You have to know law. And history and law is synonymous. It goes hand in hand. So when you really understand what law is, especially international law, in relation to the relationship that the United States has on our land as an occupying force, there are certain things that they cannot do. All right. Within occupancy laws, some of the articles say that they could never be a sovereign on our land. But you see, nobody don't know that information. I guarantee you a lot of people haven't heard about that. Those are some of the jewels that I have in my arsenal. You see what I'm saying? Because they could never be a sovereign on our land because they are occupiers. All right. And there's only two ways that we could get back what we have or what's ours. Number one, we have to come together as a people, create our own, and take our claim to the international court and have them step down. And if they refuse to step down, the laws say in international law, occupancy law, we have a right to take it by force. So if y'all don't know, now y'all know. You see what I'm saying? So we don't have to be afraid of their guns and their tanks and none of that. All we have to do as a people is come together. That's it. That's why they spend so much time separating us. You see what I'm saying? Because they know there is laws to this. There is rules to a war. Okay, we are prisoners of war in our own land. And the POWs, there are laws that govern them. Even the Red Cross is associated with that. All right, where they have to keep a certain balance. This thing is all planned out. So there's rules to the game. Okay, rules to the game. So they have a certain way and codes that they have to treat their prisoners. But at the same time, the original people of the land, the true sovereigns, all right, they cannot change their laws unless the people allow them to change it. So that's why they had to put these $5 Indians in our places, and they had to rewrite the constitutions. So we know it's a bunch of fraud that's happening. But first, we have to come together as a collective, create our structure, create our organization, take that to the international court, put them on notice, and we ask them to step down legally and lawfully. And by law, they're supposed to step down because they are only an occupying force. That's it. You see what I'm saying? And that's, go look it up. If you don't believe me, I don't want nobody to believe anything I'm saying. Go look up occupancy laws, and it will tell you everything. Go look at the labor codes. Go look at all that. All right. It will tell you during the Hague Convention. All right. Those were the rules that were set up for the rules of engagement in war. Whether you take someone's territory by force or by treaty, all right, you can never be a sovereign on their land. You only have certain authority to do certain things. And you have to, and that's how on drip and all these different things came about, because indigenous people have to have the lawful and aboriginal standing, okay, on their land. So we have to know these things. All right. So that's why they spend so much time trying to infiltrate us, because they know once we unite and we set up our structure, they have to step down as the occupiers. So I'm just dropping jokes.
Man, that's deep, man.
All right, go
That's
look it up.
That's deep.
Go look it up. Go look up the occupancy laws. If you think I'm not joking, go look it up. As a matter of fact, one day I'm gonna do a build on that and go through all the articles. All right. As a matter of fact, in occupancy laws, it states that they cannot take anything that belongs to the people that were there. They cannot take anything, including your home. All right. They have no right to come take your home and your children. That goes against international law. But people don't know. Once again, people, and I'm not blaming our people for not knowing. You feel what I'm saying? Because we perish for the lack of knowledge. And that's why I do what I do. But people have to be willing to support each other and build and come together. You know what I'm saying? Because how do you come into my house and I'm the landlord and you're going to make me the tenant and tell me I got to pay you taxes? That's ludicrous. You know? Nah, you can't do that. How are you going to come into my house and take my children and take them somewhere else? You know what I'm saying? You can't do that. That's against the law. So what we are dealing with is a de facto situation opposed to a de jure. Okay, de jure deals with the land. Okay, the soil. That's we, the indigenous people. De facto deals with, okay, you know what? You're an occupier. You could create your statutes and codes, but you cannot make laws. That's why they cannot make laws. It is part of the rule. It's part of the game. And in what you call the occupancy laws and the articles, they're all actors. They're called actors. So brothers and sisters, we're on a big stage play, all right? And we just have a bunch of actors creating, directing, and telling us what to do in our land. So here's the truth, though. Based on international law, they have a right to do that. It's legal because we are prisoners of war. People don't realize that. Just because you could go to work, you could get up and have sex when you want, go to the movies, buy cars and homes, it doesn't mean that you're free. Because they have to do that in the articles. They have to take care of the people. That's why they're able to give Section 8 welfare, because that is part of the articles. That is part of the rules. You have to make sure that your prisoners have certain amenities. You have to make sure. So it's deep, man. It's deep. They have to do that. But when the people decide to come together to restore what's theirs, they have to respect it. And they have to step down. Or the people in law have a right to take it back because it's theirs. All right? So go look it up.
And that's exactly what I'm saying. We got to take our stand to the court, the international court,
Yeah.
We have to be able to take a stand on the international platform. And the only way we're going to do that is just like you say, we have to become a body of people, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we all have to be on the same page about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
In a lawful manner.
Yeah. And once again, man, all this, the building is important, because people are listening, people are doing research, you know what I mean? And I'm certainly sure a lot of the things that a lot of people haven't heard. And I implore them to go research it. Go look up the information because it's real, it's out there. You know what I'm saying? And we have to know the situation that we're in. We have to know where we came from, and we have to know where we're in to deal with the solutions. All right. And one of the things is that on DRIP, United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous People, it is not legally binding. American Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous People, it's not legally binding. But what I do, I take the USC code, all right? I think it's Title 28, Section 241 and 242 that deals with, the violation of rights. You see what I'm saying? And dealing with color of law. So I take those two US codes and I tie it with on DRIP and an American an age rip. So now it becomes legally binding. So either way, they can't get away from it. So we have to know how to maneuver to secure our rights. So even if on drip is not legally binding, USC Code Title 28, Section 241 and 242 is legally binding because they have oaths position. And that means you cannot violate my right. So what I do is I use that to substantiate the validity of on drip. We have to learn these things. If we don't know how to defend our rights, if you don't know what it means to be an American Indian, if you don't know what it means to be indigenous, and you don't know how to stand and articulate that so that your rights won't be violated, then to me, you're just talking. But who's teaching that information? And then when we are teaching the information, you have people they're not supporting. You see what I'm saying? So now that takes away from the time that I could give you, the time that Chief Holiday could give you, the time that any other brother or sister could give you, because we have to go hustle to take care of our homes. You see, because the synergy is not there. We're not together. You know, we have that mindset of too much, oh, I want to be independent. That didn't exist in our culture. We dealt with what was called interdependency, where we worked together. We depended on each other. If I have apples, you have oranges, we trade. And now we both got apples and oranges. And we have to go back to that mindset. But in the meantime, what we need to do is, based on drip, okay, and age drip, we have a right as the indigenous people to have a say in political affairs or situations or any laws or bills or legislations that's being passed that's affecting our lives. Why aren't we at the table, you know what I'm saying, making those decisions? You feel me? So that's how we have to step up. We have to step up on a political platform so that we could affect those changes, so that our voices could be heard. So when the politicians start talking about, hey, we got to get the Asian vote. Oh, we got to get the, you know, the white vote. Oh, we got to get the Hispanic vote. We got to get the black vote. Well, here we come now. You got to get the indigenous vote. You see where I'm going with this?
Yeah.
We have to get on the political platform. That's what speaks. That's what talks. You want our vote? What are you going to give us? What are you going to do for us? What is the consideration? This is all business. And commerce is being done on every level. All right. So now you're giving your vote. What's the consideration? There have to be a consideration. And you have black people voting, and they're not getting anything because they don't exist. But when we step on the scene as the indigenous people and we step into the political arena and we say, hey, now you got to try to get the indigenous vote. Now we have a voice. That's what we got to do, man. And it's not going to take a lot of us, all right? Because the majority of our people, they like to be in a comfortable place. They like to be comfortable in that safe zone. A lot of people are playing defense. They're just watching because the majority of our people is they jump in when they see things are being successful. So I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried about the ones that sleep. As a matter of fact, the ones that are asleep, they're going to be the biggest giants. All they have to see is just some progress. And I guarantee you, if we could show them something better than what they have right now, man, it's a wrap. Period. But we are not showing them anything different. What they see is us fighting. What they see is us calling each other names. What they see is us degrading each other. What they see is us slandering each other. Who wants to be a part of that? If I came into a situation and I'm hearing black is not the thing to be, and then I go and step into that arena and I see you guys acting the way you're acting, man, I'm going to be black for the rest of my life. Let me be black. At least I'm getting food stamps. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So how can we tell these people give up what they know and they're comfortable, even if they're struggling? How can we ask them to give it up when we hear fighting amongst each other? What have we accomplished as Aboriginals? Those of us who know who we are. What have we done, and what do we have to show as a collective to show our people that we are working together? I'll wait.
Yeah.
But everybody want to be
Right.
a scholar. Everybody want to be a leader. Everybody want to be a chief. Nobody want to be an Indian. Come on, man. This chief title don't mean nothing to me. I'll be an Indian any day. If somebody could just show me what do we have in place for our people who call themselves indigenous and aboriginals. I'm a team player. So all I'm just saying is this. We have to come together. For those of us who say that we are real about it, let us forget the egos. Let us forget the titles. Let us forget the chip on the shoulders and put our feet on the ground and do something. Let our people see that we are being productive. We are being proactive. And we are getting results. You feel me? Because on many occasions, I have stepped into courts and get my respect. Okay? I get my respect from police officers because you know what? I don't disrespect them. I know they got a job to do. The majority of them, they don't know the knowledge. They are uneducated because all they are taught is just codes and policies. But I get the respect from them. You know why? Because I'm always respectful. I'm not trying to prove a point. And if I see it comes to a situation where, you know, you really don't get it, I'm going to take the ticket. Give me a ticket. It's fine. But I know I'm going to beat it in court. So either way, I'm going to get a W. So why do I want to put myself on camera arguing with the police to prove a point, and then it end up with me getting bashed in and pull out the car? What did I solve? Come on, man. That's that nigga mentality, bro. We got to change that. We got to change that. The pen is mightier than the sword. Let's use the pen. I promise you it works. All right.
Yeah, for sure. Sure.
And that's why I say, you know, we gotta make that declaration on the census. We have to, because we got 10 million people doing that, and then no, they can't be stating African American because they put us all in that one category, African American. And we gotta do something about that on all levels. So that's just one way I think we could make that declaration and put it out there, so we could say, yeah, that's on the record. You could look back from that 100 years from now and see that declaration, because we made it. But it's one step, one initiative, one thing to do. You know, somebody come at the door, pretty much asking you who you are. You know, put it on that form who you are. You know. Yeah.
And here's the thing, brother. You know what I mean? We honestly, like I said, we could create our own. You see what I'm saying? We could create our own census. There's no reason why we can't do our own. You feel me? My thing is, all right, my thing is this, right? We don't have to be subjected to what they say. Well, we tell you when to celebrate, you know, to celebrate Christmas. We tell you when to give gifts. We tell you when to be in love with your partner, which is Valentine's Day. You know what I'm saying? We tell you when to celebrate this and celebrate that. We tell you when it's Mother's Day. We tell you when it's Father's Day. Now you're going to tell us when to be who we are? Come on, like, at what point are we going to say, nah, man? Every day is Mother's Day. Every day is Father's Day. Every day is Valentine's Day. Every day is a present. You know what I'm saying? Every day I'm an Aborigine. Every day I'm an American Indian. I don't have to step into your realm of existence to get validation. You feel me? So I totally agree. I mean, I get what you're saying. You know what I mean? But I'm going to rock with Chief Holiday on that. You feel me? We don't have to get validation from anyone to be who we are on our land. You feel me? Our stories are going to be told, whether it may be orally, whether it may be through video, whatever it is. Our story is going to be told because we are changing the times. We are changing history, fam. We changing it. And it's going to happen. You feel me? So I agree. Yes, we have to come together. You know what I mean? But we just have to put people on notice and let them know. That's it. The key is to step into the political platform and then make our voices be heard. I think that's the most effective way. Because us doing the census, honestly, personally, that's just my opinion. I don't think it's going to change anything for us. You feel what I'm saying? How many times did a few of our people did the doors
Well,
roll?
if you allow, it's like the last state. You're gonna allow them to state who you are. If you don't want to state who you are, you're gonna put it on the form who they think
Oh,
you are,
oh no, brother,
and
they can't do that.
that.
They can't. No, they can't do that. They can't just say who you are unless you acquiescence to it. You could always rebuttal it. The point I'm trying to make is look at the doors rose, for instance, right? They did the doors rose, and then they changed a lot of our ancestors' names and took them off the doors rose and replaced them with 5,000 Indians. Who's to say that's not going to happen with the census in 20 years? You see what I'm saying?
Well,
So,
because that's why you take the original copy. You take the original copy, and you get a copy. You mail it to them, registered mail, to show that you get receipt to show that you mail them that copy. You keep the original, so you could always testify to it. It's a
so,
federal document.
so let me ask you a question. What is the difference in that and you sending your own affidavit? You could send your own declaration with certified mail return receipt, putting them on notice without filling out your paperwork. It's the same thing, and then keep that in your family records.
Yeah, but does that really work?
Well, what you mean? Does it really work? Of course it works. I'm not. You can now. Once I put you on notice, you have 30 days to rebuttal that. Okay, within contractual law, you have 30 days to rebuttal that. Okay, now if you cannot rebuttal that in 30 days, then it stands as law. Here we go again. I'm gonna show you. Okay, unrebutted affidavit stands as truth. Look at this right here, brother. I'm not just talking about this. I know this. Okay, if I send you an affidavit and you haven't responded in 30 days, that stands as law. So if I send you a notice as to who I am as an indigenous original man of this land, and you cannot dispute that within 30 days, man, I could take that to court and get a judgment. Facts over feelings.
I see. I won't dispute that. I
You
won't
feel what
dispute
I'm saying? So
that at
we
all.
don't have to step into the matrix to make ourselves. All right, that's all I'm just saying. You feel no sense is fine. Go ahead and that's you do your thing. But my thing is you could still get the same result. You see what I'm saying? And but have more control over your own life. Because once you start putting that information out there, then they get to manipulate and do what they want with they do that, man. These people they play dirty. They play dirty.
That's what I'm saying. Of course they play dirty, and they're never gonna give up the throne. So they
Or they
have
are.
the gold mine.
Or not. They are
They
gonna
have
give
the
up the
gold
throne.
mine. So you think they're gonna give it up?
Oh, of
They
course.
didn't want to give it up for
Trust
how
me,
hundreds of
brother,
years now.
it's already written, brother. It's prophecy. You feel what I'm saying? The indigenous people have to be restored. Yeah, it's not even a question. Okay, it has to happen. Okay, the first shall be the last, and the last shall be the first. We were the first, so therefore we will be the first again. Why do you think the awakening? Why do you think it's happening in such huge numbers? It is because it is time for
I
us.
know it's inevitable. It have to happen right away.
Oh, now it's gonna happen
You
in
know
its ripe
it's
time, brother. Listen to this, brother.
that's right. It's
Check this
gonna
out.
happen regardless.
Check this out. In nature, like I always tell people, in nature, there's no wrong or right. All there is in nature is ripe or green. Right now, our people was in a green state, meaning that they were dead. All right. Now they started getting that. We started planting those seeds, watering those seeds. The tree started growing. All right. The leaves sprung out. The little fruits came out. Right. And then a lot of our people are in the fruitful stage right now. Okay, the fruit is green, but some of them are becoming ripe right now. Our time is ripening, brother. And once that happens and our moment finally hits its peak, then the fruit is ripe. We don't have to fight, brother. It's gonna fall into our lap. You know this. You from Jamaica, you know. Back in the
Yeah.
islands, when we go pick fruits, all you do is shake the tree and mangoes start falling in your lap because it's ripe. So we don't have to do too much work. All we have to do is work diligently, okay, and be proactive and come together. That's it. Everything else is going to fall in place. I guarantee you that. Take my word for that. All right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is ours. They say render unto Caesar what is Caesar's. I say render unto the American Aborigine what's the American Aborigine. It's our time and they can't stop it. They know this.
Yeah, they know. Of course, they know they're gonna have to recognize us. That's the whole thing. The land is vast. They've been ignoring us, but just like you say earlier, they know who we are.
There you go.
They know who we are. It's we who don't know who we are.
There you go.
Right?
Absolutely. So what we are doing, all what we are doing is very much imperative as to our
That's
progress.
right.
You see what I'm saying?
And what I'm
Because-
trying to say is the occupiers ain't going nowhere. They're just gonna have to recognize us, but they're still not gonna leave and go anywhere.
Well, hey, a lot of them are already leaving. Brother, it's happening, brother. It's happening. You see what I'm saying? It's happening. You know, I'm not saying everybody's gonna leave, but at the end of the day, you have to relinquish, okay, your power to the original people, because that's written, that's prophecy, that's in international law, and they have to respect it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's just what it is. Like I tell people before, man, there is duality. Don't think everybody in the world is bad, and don't think everybody in the world is good. The same people who are fighting to keep us down, there are people as powerful as they are fighting to uplift us. We just have to put ourselves in a position to be at the table to know who these people are. You feel me? If you're not sitting at the table, then you only get the crumbs underneath the table. What we have to do now is start creeping our way from underneath that table. Literally slide ourselves from underneath the table and step into the chair and come up and say, hey, I'm at the table now. What's up? I want a piece of that pie. I'm not going to eat crumbs no more. And that's what we have to do. So how do we do this?
I think, you know, I think we're getting a little sidetracked on the big picture is, you know, us taking our stand in this nation of ours. I feel like once we all come together on the first step that needs to be took for everybody to succeed, you know, in our culture, I think that's when we'll start, you know, getting the train rolling, you know. And I feel like that first step that needs to be taken is you know, getting some land for ourselves. You know, people who all have a like mindset, who all are Aboriginals, we all get our land, you know, and go from there and grow from there, and, you know, make a camp in every state. You know, that's kind of, you know, the goal that we should have.
Oh, no doubt. I totally agree.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Keep in mind that, you know, every skinfolk ain't kinfolk. And that's why the purge is taking place right now. People are showing their true colors. So, yes, it's the like minds that have to come together. And I tell people, even if it's 2 acres, even if it's a plot of land, get something so we could start establishing these posts all over the United States, including South America, Central America. Connect with our brothers and sisters. See what happened in the Bahamas. Over thousands, an entire island. You feel me? An entire island, there was a disaster. And all of a sudden, we're not hearing anything from them no more. And nobody's asking what's happening to our brothers and sisters in the Bahamas. Where they at? What happened to them? You feel what I'm saying? So we have, as a people, man, we have to start being more concerned, all right, to the welfare of our brothers and sisters. So until we start doing that, there is not going to be togetherness, brother. I mean, I'm sorry. I just got to keep it real. You know, and I want to thank, you know, Potent Plant, you know, thanks, you know, for supporting, you know, the super chat. I appreciate that. All right.
Hey, Chief,
yeah.
I would like to say 2 things, you know, before I, you know, close it up for the night. I mean, the first thing, like I told you before, if you look at yourself in the mirror and you say to yourself, I'm in my own homeland and we actually working for foreigners. I think that, like I said, that realization for me was so heartbreaking that it gave me a motivation to get away from that, because literally we're working for foreigners in our own homeland. Like I said, it's like almost being a maid. Somebody come over to your home and got you cleaning it up.
Right.
But it's your house. But at the end of the night, you go in the basement in the servants' quarter while they sleeping upstairs in the master bedroom. You know. So that's a big problem. I think another thing that I would like to mention, and people can chime in on this, that a lot of people are missing the negative effect of this word. We know what black means, right? We know what it means, but African American, because words are, lack of better words, they're like magic. You can the more you say something, it can literally have a physical and psychological effect on how you feel and think. So this word African American, who can touch on it and explain to our people why this is so dangerous psychologically and why we should leave this term? Because we know black, we always say that, but African American might be just as bad.
Yeah.
So, what would the panel have to say to our people tonight to get them to slowly pull away from these type of terminology like African American?
Well, like we know already, it don't place you anywhere. It places you in the middle of two continents. So how could you be African and then turn around and be American? Right? And that's the huge problem with that African American thing. Not saying that a lot of people might not be indeed African American. Maybe they have some African ancestry and American ancestry. There'll be a lot of individuals cases too, but for the original people, it pose a threat, right? Because we're so close in resemblance, where it makes it hard to differentiate who's who, and then you don't want to be putting everybody in the same category, and that African American thing is putting everyone with the same hue in the same category.
But the majority of us have no connection to that, that landmass. The majority of us have no connection to it in the first place. You're absolutely right, and it's so how can you be in two places at one time? And even if somebody came over, like, it's funny because they don't call Moroccans and North Africans when they come here, they're not African American. Well, literally, they are Africans in America.
Yeah. But you got President Bush now. He's saying they're starting to say a lot of these terms like African American, Latino American, Venezuelan American. They're starting to, I don't know if they listen to all our platforms and everything, but they're starting to say certain things now that they never usually say. And it's just like daunting to me. It's like, we as a people, we got to be careful, because if we're not careful, they're gonna, like I said, demonize us in order to have power over us. To maintain that power over us, they'll do anything. You see what they do. If we claim we have leaders, they cut off the heads of those. So it's all about empowerment. It's all about the knowledge, and we have to break free from the chain, from the cycle, of being dependent on this system. Once we could release ourselves from that, then we could actually have a mindset of what it means to be wild and free,
Yeah.
Because that's what they use to control the world, is pretty much three things. They use food, clothes, and shelter, and the way how you think about going about getting these things against us as a society to control us, right? So they have you going out to work for those three things, and pretty much that's what everything boils down to at the end of the day. So it's all about them knowing the science, manipulating the science, and using it against us, keeping us dumb. And we have to rise up against that. But know, while we're rising up against all of that, that we have to be careful, because we we face a threat all the time, just for a value for what we're worth, you know.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why, we have, people, again, people have to realize that, we got to get away from the mindset of looking for that savior. Okay. That time and the era for seeking that individual savior, so to speak, or that personage, we make a savior, that time is over. We are living in a day and
Mm-hmm.
age where everyone needs to be the savior. You feel what I'm saying? So, I mean, I got booted off. I thought the live was gone, but I got back on. But brother, Issa, to answer your question about the African American, all right, let's just put this in perspective. All right, we are in a system where we are being dealt with. Okay, when it comes to legalities, we are being dealt with what's called admiralty law. All right, the laws of the sea. That means every time you walk into a court, you're walking into an ocean, so to speak. All right, and that means you're lost at sea. So to be African American, Africa is a continent, America is a continent, and if you're between these two continents, then you're in the ocean. So that means you're lost at sea. So hence, it is the same. It is the same. It has the same political ramifications as being black. You see what I'm saying? It means that
Mm-hmm.
you're still dead in law. You feel me?
Yeah.
You don't exist. It's the same thing because for one, Africa is a continent. How can you just say you are? Even Africans don't say they're Africans. So how can you just say you're an African? You feel me? So that alone in itself is politically incorrect. So by you saying that you're African American, that puts you in the waters. That means you're dead at sea, and now you're being governed or ruled by what's called admiralty law, not by the laws of the land, but by the laws of the sea. And that's what the courts are all about. You're going into a new jurisdiction. Literally, when you walk into a court, you're leaving the land and you're walking into water.
Mm.
You feel me? So when you call yourself
Yeah.
African American, that is one of the, again, political ramifications of being, an African American. And as a matter of fact, there was a ruling. I think Obama signed that executive order that a judge could literally change over 22 or 25 million birth certificates and put Africa, change it from whatever it was to African American. So how are you going to tell me Obama was our president? Maybe he was yours, he wasn't mine. You feel me? Over 20 million birth certificates was changed to African American. So literally, those people don't exist.
Mm. It
So
makes you a
again,
foreigner too. It makes
say
you a
that again.
foreigner. It makes you a
Yeah,
foreigner as well.
absolutely. It makes you a foreigner to the land. It makes you an alien. So when you hear these people talking about aliens, just because you were born here, that doesn't mean they're not talking about you. It is all wordplay, semantics. We are all aliens in our land.
Mm.
Man, it's deep. You feel
So
me? So
they
we
come up
have
with the whole. So
go
they
ahead.
come up with the whole fictitious. They come up with the whole fantasy Atlantic slave trade and tens of millions of people to even back up them calling us
Yep,
African Americans.
exactly. Because this thing was orchestrated a very, very
Mm-hmm.
long time ago. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So they had to put everything in place. You feel me? To validate, all right, their story, to give their story any type of credibility, they had to give us roots. They had to give us Amistad. They had to do all those things to play into the mindset of our people. Imagery is very important. They say a picture, okay, could tell, or a picture tell 1,000 words. You dig? So now when you
Mm-hmm.
change the image of what the American Indian looks like, what do you think is going to happen? It started with the cowboy movies. And even as a little boy growing up, I'm looking at cowboy and Indians, and for some reason I'm always going, oh, why is that? Why? I never sided
Mm-hmm.
with the
Mhm. 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 Mhm.
cowboys,
Mhm.
because that is something that was in us. Our DNA telling us, no, you got to root for the Indians. But they have to change the imagery of what the Indians look like. And that's why I tell people, stop promoting this native thing. We are not natives, man. Stop promoting that. And every time you show a native, you want to show a damn Mexican or a Mongolian. But you're talking about, that's our ancestors. That's not my ancestor. So you would never see me post anything or wear a t-shirt talking about Native American and you see a Mongolian or a Mexican. Never. I would rather put my own picture on my shirt and put Native American. We, again, it's imagery. We have to stop pushing the imagery of what the American Indian look like. We have to stop pushing that, man.
That's why I respect Chief so much. You know, he's speaking to Aboriginal, you know, talk, and you know, by backing it up, you know, he's wearing his feathers, you know, supporting the movement. So that's why I respect Chief.
Yeah, much love and respect.
Yeah, much love, man. No doubt. No doubt.
I think it got froze.
Yeah, I think he froze.
That's the StreamYard. Sometimes it boots you out. And
I just want to get my little point about the question. You know, like Chief said, being black is an image. You know, we want to what we want to do is transform people from being black. You know, African American. And I feel if we're not, you know, in the movement, wearing our feathers, you know, and as we're talking to people, trying to get them out of black, like Christ, you know, is getting people into being Christian. It's all, you know, you gotta kind of be that image that you want to see, you know.
Yeah.
Until that changes, you know, I'm victim of it. You know, I talk Aboriginal talk, but I'm not wearing my feathers, you know, and that's something not, you know, that I could improve on as well. So I think
no doubt, because it's a great conversation piece. It's a great conversation piece. I'm always with my feathers. Don't matter where I go. Anybody will tell you they see me in the streets. I got my feathers. You know why? Because I'm waking up something in people. It always starts a conversation. Hey, brother, what tribe you from? Annie and we and Kalinago. Oh, wow, you. Well, they don't know it's Annie and we. So I always, you know, educate them. I let them know that Annie and we is the original name for Cherokee. But oh yeah, my grandmother said I was Cherokee too, and that's how the conversation started. But when you step into the street looking like a black man or a black woman, looking like an African American, how are you going to spark these conversations? You know what I'm saying? We have to represent who we are. Okay, we have to do that. When you step out your house, a police officer should not look at you and call you black or African American. Automatically, my crown.
When you step out your house and you see a police officer, you come right away because he's uniform and his attire.
You know, no, I mean, they got a job to do, but what I'm saying is we have a job to do as well. We have a job to do as well, which is to represent who we are, or well, represent our ancestors and present who we are. We have to present ourselves as who we are. You know what I mean? So they will never call me black or African American because they know black people don't walk around in feathers. They know African American don't walk around with feathers. So now they're confused, even if they don't know. I would rather you be in a state of confusion, okay, than label me black or African American, because automatically that's a stigma of you putting me in a dead category, status-wise. Man, we got to use this, man. So you have to be real about it. It can't be just all talk. We have to live that every single day. We have to live it. You know what I mean? Every single day. You know?
That's what's up, man.
Yeah, but I appreciate everybody on the bill, man. So
thanks a lot, man.
Yeah, no doubt. The boy, I'm gonna give you a chance to say some closing words, brother. Before we get out of here, because definitely I have some traveling to do within the next 48 hours, so I got to get some rest. But go ahead, brother. I'm
gonna close out too. So I'm gonna keep in contact with you, man. We gotta keep building, brother.
No doubt.
All right,
No doubt.
I'll be calling you, man. All right, peace,
Anytime, brother.
brother.
Peace and
Peace,
love.
brother. Peace.
All right. Yes. Yeah, brother. The
Peace,
boy. Go ahead, brother.
Abu Isa.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm good, Chief. You know, I
All
was
right. No
just
doubt.
gonna say, you know, great build, you know,
Yeah.
great build and everything, and peace to everyone in the chat and everyone on the panel, because you know we gotta really come together and get this thing done. You know, we gotta really be recognized for who we are and not told who we are, and you know things gotta change.
Indeed.
So
Indeed.
it, it's the time for change right now, and we gotta make it happen. So I'm down
Absolutely. Absolutely. I
to
appreciate you,
do
brother. Thanks for
whatever
being
it
on the
takes,
build,
you
and we'll
know.
definitely talk soon.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right. One.
Keep up the good
Yeah.
work, Chief. You know.
Appreciate
One.
it. No doubt. You already know. You already know. All right. I'm Rising Water, brother. Go ahead, brother. Give you your closing sentiments.
I just want to thank everybody, that joined us today. And just to close out, we gotta, like we say, we gotta put our feathers up. We got rock them feathers, and represent, who we are. We say it's our land. But, what land do we have to prove that it's really ours? So once we, start to get that rolling, then we can start building and making some progress from there. I just want to
No
thank
doubt.
you, Chief.
Anytime.
I got your number, so I'm gonna try to link up with you. So we can have some ideas.
Sounds
Cool,
good. No doubt. Looking forward to it, brother. And thank you for being part of the build. All right.
Thank you.
All right. One. No doubt. Yeah, so and one is left and one was left. And I just want to take the time to thank, Sister Onyx and Muma, Luna, for being part of the build. Once again, to me, it's so important to have our sisters, let their voices be heard, and I'm glad, because for me it's about the balance. I like to bring the balance. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate everyone for coming on. My brother Chief Holiday, I got your number, so I'm always going to hit you up behind the scenes so we could, talk about a few things. But thank you for being part of the build as well. Thank you to Sister Asia for being part of the build. Man, I really love you guys, for all you guys on the chat. Man, thank you for your input. It's really, really, it means a lot, and as a people, we have to continue to build. Everything that I spoke of is public knowledge. I am not here speaking violence. I'm not speaking here to overthrow anybody. That's not what I'm talking about. All right. I'm not talking about any conspiracies. I don't deal with that. I am talking about things you could research for yourself. All right. And learn the information. Everything that I do is about knowledge. It's for educational purposes. All right. So I'm not here advocating violence against anybody. All right. That's not what I'm about. I'm about building and making sure that we are restored as the original people of the land. Okay, it's our birthright. It's our pedigree. We have every right, okay, to be in our land and be free. Okay, because every other ethnic group comes into our home, and I've stated that many times. Okay, everyone comes into our home and live the American dream. They get to call themselves Americans, but the original Americans get to be Black and African American. You know what I'm saying? And we get to live a nightmare. We got to do something about that. And how we do it is we come together and we make sure that we step on this political scene hard. You feel me? We make sure that our voice is heard. Let them know we know who we are. Let them know that we are still here. All right? And they are going to respect us. And that's it. That's it. So once again, continue to walk in love, in harmony. Continue to love each other. Continue to support each other. All right. That's what it's about, man. When you feel my pain, that's when you get to call me your brother. When I feel your pain, that's when I get to call you my brother and my sister. And that's why I do what I do, because I feel your pain. And no matter where I go, I'm always willing to give a helping hand. I give my last because I love my people. You feel me? So let us continue to rise, man. Let us continue to build each other. All right. And let's do this for our babies. If you don't want to do it for yourself, let's do it for our babies. You feel me? Because they deserve that. They deserve it. We have to come to the point where we are able to protect our women, children, and elders. We have to come to the point where we are able to do that. All right. So everyone on the panel, they had great opinions. You know, they drop a lot of great information. So let's put all that together. And I'm giving a shout out to, you know, everyone else that's on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. Man, sharing knowledge. Thank you for playing your part as well. But at some point, we have to come together and put our boots on the ground. You guys know how to find me. I'm not too hard to find. So you can never say you can't get in touch with me. That would be a lie. All right. So with that being said, enjoy the rest of your continuation and continue to stand on the truth as who we are. Our grandparents didn't lie to us. All right. They told us who we were. So let us honor that and let us continue to walk in truth and light. All right. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Talk to y'all soon. Peace.